Here we are, baby, back again. We are here. Another episode of Big Mike and Little Ant, another spoiler discussion since you guys love it so much. Here we are today to talk about The Suicide Squad, movie that just came out this week, a remake / sequel of Suicide Squad from 2016, this time directed by James Gunn. And we're going to dive into it. We're going to spoil it, up, down, left, right, in, and out. So hopefully you guys, you've seen it. If not, this is your last warning. What's going on, Ant?
It's going good. I didn't take this as a remake, though. To me, this was a continuation.
It's like a weird. It's like in between to me a little bit. And because if you didn't see the first one, you didn't need to see the first one.
No, but here's the thing, though. Technically, you did, right? Like Viola Davis' character, they didn't dive deep into her. This movie was like as if you've seen the last movie, then you're like, cool, let's go.
Well, hold that thought. Let's get into that on the spoil discussion. What we thought it was and whatnot. Right, how you doing, nobody?
You know what? I'm good. It's a good weekend. Got to chill with you, go to the movies. This has been like a thing of ours now. Yeah. And we always said when the pandemic calmed down, this is what you're gonna get from us. So yeah. That's been cool. If you guys didn't see, we did an out of the theater review, spoiler free, and so make sure you check that out. That was cool. I had a good day yesterday. Had some company come over. People got in the pool, and we had hot dogs, hamburgers. So that was cool. And today, man, my wife is going to do some stuff, so I'm pretty much free. So I got this with you, and then 3 p.m. we're gonna be on Retro Rewind, Stadia Pro Show.
Yes, which should be cool as well. So excited about that.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, but anyway, let's bring in our special guest, man.
Hold on. Before we do that, let's do a little bit of give credit and thanks to the people who make this thing what it is. So we got Bruce. He was the first person in, putting up his rock and roll hands. I was saying what's up to Bruce. So let's see. Bruce said really enjoyed the movie. They could have. All right, wait. I guess we're gonna read that. We're gonna wait to get everybody in. Right? we want to read that now.
No, we can wait. We can wait till everybody's in.
All right. So do you want to say what's up to B? I'll just say what's up to people. BBRR, TJ's in the building. BBRR again, because I'm gonna go through this real quick. You guys are in the building. Ray, my guy, Gaming Cyborg, and he's gonna be on the show today as well. He's one of the hosts on Retro Rewind. Yeah.
Oh, now I get to meet him. That's cool.
Yeah, and my guy Jeff, who's a part of No Yes Man, that asked me to ask you about your fantasy football league. So Jeff will be on the show as well.
Okay.
But without further stalling, let's bring in these guests. I'd like to introduce none other than my guy that I got to meet through Big Mike. This is the man that does this for everything he watches. He writes down on a piece of paper so he can make sure he got his notes and he's ready. None other than the comic connoisseur, Dave.
Yo, what up, fellas?
What's up, bro?
On, Dave?
What's good, man? Thanks for having me again.
Dave,
love it, man.
I feel like how can we have the show without you? If I find out Dave watched it, he's coming on.
If I would have known you guys was doing this sooner, I would have been on a long time ago. I would have loved to watch the WandaVision one.
We were doing it before that. We were doing it way before that. We were doing it.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know how long you was on it, but it was always a pleasure, man. Getting up with the good fellas, One thing I do got to say though, and I'm kind of shameful. I don't break out the pen and pad for DC movies.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth my full, deep dive. Only for the MCU stuff.
And I'll get into that, I guess, in a bit. But I agree, and I agree. So it'll be part of my review. I'm with you.
Right. All right, and our next guest, man, is a childhood friend of mine, still friends with me to this day. He's also big into these movies, into these comics, into these fantasy type elements, and we'd love to get his opinion. He was on us for the last show. Happy to have him back, my man E Money in the building.
Woo!
Yeah, what's going on?
Superman shirt on. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go, E.
Let's go. Everybody got the guns out. I said, okay,
let's go.
Guys, listen. Linda, honey. This is gonna be crazy. I might walk off this set today, man, because this movie I was highly looking forward to, and I got to see it with Mike, and Mike and I walked out the theater, and the debate or the talk was getting so deep, and I was like, bro, we just gotta save it. And then he told me what Dave, because he talked to me about you earlier that day, Dave. So, oh, Dave's seen it already. And it makes for a dynamic that I've been waiting for. So this is gonna be good.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna have, and I don't know how E felt. So I'm surprised about E. He hasn't really told me how he felt about it. So man, it's gonna be an epic show. I'm really excited about it. Just like the fans who are watching, who've been watching it outside of us, I think that this movie has a lot of debate, which I think is very good for entertainment. So
and a lot of debate, and you know what's crazy is like you got places like Rotten Tomatoes, you got your boy Campia, you got people high and low, right? Like we're the regular people, right? But we got people high and low, and what we're hearing all over. It's like wow.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that.
Should we read Bruce's?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, read that. Yeah.
Okay. So Bruce said, really enjoyed the movie. They could have done more with Weasel than just comedic approach, and it was a shame to see Flag die, but it was great. Even with the Stay Puff Marshmallow Man ending. All right, so that's his little overall, which is cool. He put his little on it.
Okay, I mean we're happy to hear that and whatnot, and shouts out to everybody in our chat right now. So as we get into it, man, first of all, I want to go backwards, right? Before we start to this one, Suicide Squad, 2016. How'd you all feel about that movie? How'd you feel about that one? Go ahead, Dave. What'd you think about that when it came out?
It wasn't bad. You know why? Because it was original. Not even Marvel had done the whole criminals superhero movie, so to speak, superhero movie, but with criminals. So it was an original idea. I kind of liked it. Will Smith carried it. Margot Robbie carried it. It suffered, this movie, the new one, suffered from a little of the issues from the first one. We'll get into that as we go through. But I actually liked that first one, but this one was way better.
All right, we'll get into that.
Way better. But I like that one. If I had to rate it, I'd give it like a 7.
How you felt about the first Suicide Squad, 2016?
First Suicide Squad, loved Will Smith on it.
Yeah.
Everybody, the Joker, I thought he did all right too. I thought he did all right. He put his own twist to that Joker. I felt, but I gotta say, it wasn't better than this one.
Okay.
No way.
And I talked to you about this already, but put it on camera. How you felt about that Suicide Squad?
So I actually thought the first Suicide Squad movie wasn't bad. I got to say this now because of what Dave said. He doesn't try to dissect the DC movie. I can't speak for him, but for me, I'm not as big of a fan as DC as I am for Marvel. And also, I'm a general entertainment guy. You entertain me, I'm cool, right? So the Suicide Squad, for me, the first one did just enough. What I would like is a movie that has a team, right? You can assemble a team. So I thought all the different people on the team was cool. Like the dude with the fire hands at the end, he really showed like he was super powerful. Harley Quinn did her thing. You had the Joker in there. So him in the side plot. So I felt like it was a decent team up movie. And like Dave said, it was like new, right? You get these bad guys together. And they kind of have to be forced to be good guys. So I thought it was pretty cool. And one of my favorite movies is The Loser. And it had feelings of like, a team of people together. They're not the greatest at what they do, right? They're trying to be, but they screw ups a little bit. So you got all these screw ups together. And personally, I liked it. I thought it was cool. At the end, they fought the chick that grew big, and the fire dude had to use his powers. And so I thought it was good. If I had to do like Dave and rate it, maybe because again, I'm not a big DC guy, but as a movie, it was decent. It was Will Smith did his thing. I want to give it a 7, but do I want to give it a 6? And I don't give halves like Big Mike. So
yeah, I'm on the fence between 6 and 7 on that first movie.
Right.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, and for me, I'll say that I was a little disappointed in that first movie. I did like the bad guy team concept. I thought that was pretty good. I thought they had all the right elements, but it just didn't structure well for me. I felt like that the actual the mission or the plot it didn't go. It wasn't going right. The Joker subplot was good, but again, I felt like they could have executed it better. And it suffered from what those early DC movies suffer for me. And that's not about the movie, but that's about the cinematography. It was all dark. And like, you know, if you watch those first like Batman vs Superman, Justice League, it's a lot of darkness or whatever. And I felt like that that definitely didn't go over well for me. Will Smith was good, even though I think, well, I'll get into that later. But for me, I might have gave that one like a 5. Like, I never wanted to watch that again. Like, I just felt like it was just didn't, do well for me. I like Amanda Waller in that one though. I did like how ruthless that she was, and they showed more in depth of her character. However, just left a lot to be desired for me. I wasn't really like, Suicide Squad. It's a reason why they did another one to me. That's why I'll put it like that. Whatever. So,
well, we gotta break that down too, because read this one, Mike.
So we're just going to forget about the monster that they had in the movie, or should I say, all monsters they had to fight.
So, what are you talking about? The first one or the second one?
Yeah, I'm not sure they're talking about which one they're talking about.
The first one they fought Enchantress.
Yeah,
and they fought her crazy brother.
Yeah, exactly. In that big room, I remember that.
Yeah.
Let's and I also didn't like the alligator dude too in the first one, but that's just me.
Killer Croc. Yeah, I didn't like that version of Killer Croc. Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? Trying to put a character like that and not be CGI is, Yeah. Remember, DC was big into saying they didn't want to use CGI. Remember?
Yeah.
Like at first, with all the Batman movies, they was like, we're not using CGI.
Dummies. But you know what they could have done?
But only go so far. You need it to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get to part 2, though, can I want to hold on.
Go ahead.
We're talking about the second one. Well, we're going to get to that, BB.
First, now I'm confused now.
Oh yeah, now I'm really confused. But before we get into this, let's go to the transition. Okay, so hold up, wait, let's see. Okay, I don't know. You talking about the first or the second? I don't know. You said second. You said first. You said he was bad. So, must be talking about the first. Now, was this a sequel? Was this a remake? Mike called it a remake at first. I clearly think it's not a remake. I
thought it was wait, I said it's on the fence of which one it is, but
I think it's a loose sequel. Loose sequel. Yeah. All right, because we already have pre-established characters from a movie who've already been doing this for some time in this movie. So it's got to be like a pseudo sequel, but it's not a full.
I said before you guys come on, I said the thing about it, you don't need to watch the first one in order to watch this one.
You don't.
Right.
You don't. This one here, you could have never heard of the Suicide Squad before. And
here's the thing though. When you have a first movie, you have origins. This movie had no origins, right? They had the origin for the bad guys. We'll get into that. But the heroes and stuff, like Viola Davis' character, you would think if you just start watching this movie and never seen part 1, you'd be like, "Who the hell? What did it?"
Yeah, you'd be like, "What's wrong with this lady? And why they put her in charge of anything?
Why do they have people with powers? And what is going on here?" Like,
world's worst boss.
Yes, you can watch almost any movie without watching the first one, but you will be like, you will have questions if you didn't see the first one. Let's be real. It had to be a sequel.
Well, what you think, E? A remake or sequel?
I feel it's a sequel.
Okay.
Just off the fact that they didn't tell you much and they just went straight into the story compared to how the first one they broke certain things down. They showed you how Amanda Waller had to do stuff. So yeah, I definitely feel it was a sequel. It was a good sequel.
Okay. The chat was all saying sequel, part 2, sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
That's why I don't know, Mike. I don't know how could I even say this is a remake, right? If it's a remake.
Not a remake, but more of like a soft reboot. Almost like they're starting it all over again. That's why it's not called Suicide Squad 2. It's called the Suicide Squad. Or whatever.
It's like a soft reboot. I can agree with that 100%.
Right.
Reboot is like
aliens, like
they're redoing it. It's like,
but they're keeping all the good elements of the first one and introducing a bunch of different elements in the second one.
That's a part 2. That's a sequel.
To me, that's why I said it's a loose sequel though, because it doesn't it's not a continuation of the last story.
Right.
You're not picking up that same team from where they left off.
Listen. How is it not right? Like the last
star of the
ended.
team, Deadshot, that's not even brought up.
Right, exactly. It's like it didn't exist.
Yeah, he's the star of the team. He's the star of the movie.
Listen. It wasn't called Deadpool in the Suicide Squad.
Right.
It's called the Suicide Squad.
Only about the squad. It ain't about.
Correct. So you could have a person no longer be in the squad. It's still about the squad, right? Some may say Harley Quinn was the star, right? So because the side plot was about her. So you continue the squad and just doing another mission. If that ain't a part 2, I don't know what to say.
But what movie have you seen where that happens, right? And they don't even bring up other characters from the first movie. Right?
Yeah, they didn't have any flashbacks from the last movie. They didn't.
You don't need to.
That's why I said it's a loose sequel. It's not. He's somewhat right.
That'd be like if you had an Avengers movie, right? And a second Avengers movie, and you didn't see.
And the only person you brought back was Hawkeye.
Right, and you didn't mention the other ones at all.
That's it. A bunch of new guys.
So that wouldn't be the same thing. They have more than one character come back.
Right.
So they have 3, right? So let's just say it was Hawkeye, Black Widow, and War Machine. Those 3.
You would not say that, and you would not say that was a soft reboot. You would be like, okay, damn, they didn't have a lot of characters. That was crazy.
I definitely hear what you're saying, but the studio presented it as a soft reboot more than a sequel.
Yeah.
That's why they have.
But it's still, to me, it's still a loose sequel because they used
it's like both.
From the first one. Yeah,
right.
They used characters from the first one, which kind of makes it a sequel technically, but it's not. They didn't reference that last story. Like Rick Flagg's girl is one of the most powerful people in the world. Why didn't he call her? Why didn't he call Enchantress and be like, "Yo, Enchantress, come over here and fuck Starro up"?
Like if this movie itself probably will have a sequel. It'll probably be The Suicide Squad Part 2 or whatever.
Yeah, they could have used Deadshot to shoot this dude in the eye. Like they could have used anything.
I mean, they had like 2 dead shots. They had the new dude. He was the same. Like I was telling Mike, I was like, dude, you didn't need Deadshot. I feel like whatever reason they couldn't get Will Smith. I don't know. Mike might have more insight in that. But I feel like they was like, well, you know what? Everybody liked this character. Let's just get a different character that's the same character. And then get John Cena character, which is also the same character. Because think about it, even to the story, he had his daughter, Deadshot, the whole thing with his daughter. I was like, damn, you ain't need Deadshot because you got Deadshot again.
But the difference, the difference between the powers is, Deadshot's like a Hawkeye. You don't miss all that stuff. The Bloodsport's more like a character that has that can generate a gun or a weapon that fits.
He's like Batman.
Like his suit, it's supposed to be a suit or a power that can generate a weapon for what's happening. Like whatever's happening for right then and there, his weapon should generate to help.
Now, you know what's cool, E? I give them credit. They showed it, but they poorly explained that.
Yeah.
Like I had to figure it out for myself. I was like, wait, now he got like an automatic rifle. I was like, at first I was like, hold on, is that little thing turning?
It's actually like more crazy in the comics. It's actually more crazy in the comics. His suit is like a portal to like a warehouse full of like attachments for guns. So he could just reach in and pull out whatever attachment he needs at that time.
You know what that reminds me of? I think one of the most over-the-top movies I ever seen in my life was Ultraviolet. Her ammunition was coming from another dimension into the gun. I was like, bro, that's sick, but so crazy. But yeah, it's when you explain it, it sounds like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it was based on, to be honest. But now with this suit here, you kind of had to kind of figure it out. Like I was always wondering, like when he's gonna be butt naked, then he's done for. Like eventually he's gonna use his drawers and shit. It's like
well he did run out, but we'll get to that later on.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But
So I think we could move on, Mike. Maybe you could do your thing as you do. Start us off and let's go down the list. And remember, we do got retro rewind. If we're on here for another, we got that at 3:00. We should be.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway. Actually, tell Ian David about that. What we're doing or whatever. Because they're in the game.
Yeah. So what's cool is you guys might have seen him a couple times. His name is Stadia Pro, aka his real name is Will. He came on here as a guest a couple times. Well, Dave was on here with him before.
I met him. Yeah. Cool dude.
So he actually has a show that he created called Retro Rewind. So what it's really cool. It's nostalgic. So it's about video games, right? But it goes deeper than that. So they may bring up, okay, what was your favorite game? Then when you talk about your favorite game, well, what was you doing around that time in your life? So you start going down memory lane, like, I remember in the arcades, and at the same time, I was in the 6th grade and whatever. It's a really cool show. Well, today, Mike and I, we was booked for this show for months. So today is our episode. He's been doing it for maybe 3 or 4 months now, and he does it on Sundays, I think every other Sunday. Well, today's episode is about hardware. So I'm gonna bring up my Sega Nomad. I still own one. I'm gonna show it on camera, and we're gonna talk about hardware, but it's retro. We're just gonna talk about, when I got the Nomad, how old was I and what was going on? And it's really cool because it just like you bring up Mario, and everyone has a story in their life for when they first played Mario. And like for me, my mom didn't buy me a Nintendo until I was like, we used to always go around my boy's house. It was around the corner. We had like all video games. So it makes you get into. It's a really cool show, man. It's really what it's called, Retro Rewind. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to book myself a spot on there as well, man.
You should.
Yo, I'm a lifetime gamer, bro. Like, after I get off a trial, I'm going to play some video games, man. So,
well, Eve, you got. I mean, not Eve, Dave. You got to talk to me, man. That's my life, man. My microphone in my ear is connected to a controller. You can't really see it.
This is my gaming headset, yo. This is my gaming headset.
This is a Sony. This is a Sony headset. I buy Sony headsets as my mic because I just like them. They're simple. They're cheap. If they break, I just buy a pack of 3 from Amazon. Yeah, I'm that guy.
Yeah. And I got the mic. But anyway, we can move on. Yeah, we can move forward. All right, so The Suicide Squad, the new one that just came out. Like I said, Ant and I, we saw it at the theaters on Friday. I actually watched it again on Saturday on HBO Max, actually. I wanted to see it again.
Me too. I watched it last night.
Yeah, Dave, I know seen it, and then E, I know when he saw it. So I guess let's dive right into it. So in the beginning, as you said, what I like about the movie is it starts out with the bang, right? The action is right away. And any movie that can do that for me is great. I think that is always, awesome part. We see Amanda Waller. We see her go and start getting his team together. And we see the whole beach scene and stuff like that. So how'd you feel about the start of the movie, Dave? What you thought about that, bro?
Yo, I thought it was, like you said, man, started off with a bang, moving right away. You know me, I'm not really big on, like, especially when it's an action movie I want to see. I like the action to come unexpectedly because that's what keeps the movie rolling. So the fact that they started it off within the first 10 minutes, there was gunfire, gunshots, somebody's face getting blown off. It was great. That set off, I think, the whole tone of the movie. And we'll get to that. But, for me, it was a great start to the movie. So, yeah.
R.I.P. the Bird. The Bird's talking about was killed by, remember that character's name?
Oh, yeah.
By Anthony Rooker or whatever.
Michael Rooker. Yondu.
Michael Rooker.
Yondu. Forever known as Yondu, man. Forever known as Yondu.
No. He's forever known as Merle to me.
That's Yondu.
Nah, that's Yondu to me,
That's Yondu, brother. I'll tell you everything, man. He birthed Yondu. He died.
Well, once he said, I'm Mary Poppins, that's Yondu to me.
That's it. That's it. I'm Mary Poppins, yo. That's it. He's Yondu. So... to me, real talk, yo, Rondu's death scene was like one of the most hurtful death scenes in all of Marvel for me, yo. Like straight up, like I felt that. I was like, yo, because I.
Well, you know what? Let's piggyback off that. So what we didn't mention was this movie was directed by James Gunn, and he kind of brought his spin on it. And he's from, as we know, from Guardians of the Galaxy. There's about 5 characters from Guardians of the Galaxy in this movie. Yep. So the one thing about him is he likes to keep his group together, which I like that. As well, including Michael Rooker, who killed the Bird, who played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. But what do you think about that first start of the movie in the beginning?
Oh, I loved it, man. I loved it. They went out with a bang with that joint. I thought that was dope. I did.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I thought was playing. Like I didn't know he set him up. Like I thought he really had his hands up and was like about to start.
Oh, you're talking about P. Davidson.
Yeah. Extravagant shit, and then his face just got blown. I was like, woo.
Yeah, I even like the part on the plane when they were talking together. I felt like that really set the tone for how crazy the movie would be. Honestly.
Oh yeah, no, the weasel drowning.
Yeah, the weasel.
That took me off.
Yeah.
One thing. Could I add one thing real quick to mine? Yeah. One thing I didn't like about the opening, though, is that they didn't showcase all of their abilities and powers and show them doing their shit. 3/4 of them died before they did anything.
Well, I think that was because that was the the B team. So that was the scene that
right, but it would have still been cool to see them take out 1 or 2 guys to show.
Well, it shows your boy. What was his name? The guy with the arms came off or whatever.
Oh, TDK.
TDK. Detachable kid. Yeah, detachable kid. But the funny scene was in the plane where he said, "Your name is letters. All names are letters." That
reminded me of the door scene. All words.
Yeah. But Anthony, you were next to me there. We talk about the opening scene.
Yes, sir. All right. So first, I want to say, my guy Ray Sherrod, my bad. He is also one of the hosts of the Retro Rewind.
Oh, you ain't give him a shout out, bro.
My bad. Listen, Stadia Pro is the creator of the show, but yeah, he did go out and get people to help host it with him. And like I did say earlier, though, that even Jeff is a host. But yeah, Jeff is a host, and he's a host. But I want to put this out there just so you guys are like, wait, what? I guess I need to say this, right? Bro, this movie was trash. So just so y'all know, it was trash. Now, as we go through it, I'm just going to be honest. First of all, I think it was stupid, right? So I like a good team assemble, but it's kind of pointless. I know that James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy, and again, I never seen none of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the actual movies. I seen them when they came out. I think one, they were not popular when I was growing up, so I didn't really care. But two, it's so over. Like, I like comedy, but Guardian Galaxy is like super silly. And then, but I give Marvel credit that they made non-popular characters popular, right? So I'm cool with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Rocket's funny as hell. But this to me was, he wanted to put his spin on Guardians of the Galaxy, but have the freedom that he don't have with Disney, right? You can't have somebody's face get blown off. Like, you can't do all that. So James Gunn was able to really go out there, but I felt like he went so far out there. To me, I felt like, okay, when I seen the trailers, right? Because Mike said to one of his friends that in the review, I say, if you see the trailer, that's all you really got. And he said, isn't that what you're supposed to get? So from the trailers, it's all over the place. It looked crazy. You got the big octopus tentacles, whatever. You see the werewolf looking, but he's a weasel, whatever. Sounds funny. You got John Cena saying buttholes and all that, right? And so I figure, well, when I go see the movie, it's going to be more streamlined. It's going to be like actually have a story that go from here to here to here to here. And all what I seen that was like this in a trailer is going to make sense. But I felt like watching the movie was like, no, you pretty much, that was the movie. Like, yeah, they had a timeline, but it was just so, this was over the top. Like, they literally had a team of people get together to go storm the beach, and you're thinking they're the team, but it was really pointless. They was just to really show that the movie's silly as hell, and this is the real team. And I felt like what Dave kind of said, all right, if you're going to do that, at least show everybody's power. Like, I don't know, I just felt like that whole scene that you guys are excited for was the biggest thing about this movie, plus was epicness, right? It had so much action, but some stuff was just so pointless. Like, the whole, like, you felt like, and I said it to my wife, I said, they're putting too much of a spotlight on Merle's character. He's Merle to me, just so y'all know. Daryl's brother from The Walking Dead. And you all know who Daryl is, so if you don't know, Merle is Daryl's brother. He was in the show before Daryl, so anyway. So Merle character, they put such a big spotlight. I said, I bet you he's gonna die, because they made him look like he was too much of the. You damn sure know he ain't the star, but they made it seem like he was the star or whatever. So I felt like all of that epicness in the beginning was for what? Like, and I'm bothered by sometimes, like when you watch a movie and in the ending was, it was all a dream. I'm like, so I just watched nothing, because none of it was real. So all that whole action scene was really pointless, just to get a rise out of you to show that this movie is gonna be really over the top and silly. And it's an actual real team. They're not the real team.
But see, I didn't feel like that, because I felt, even watching the previews, I saw two different teams. Like, I was looking, I was really looking, and I was like, oh, okay, I see this person and this person and this person with them. So this got to be a different team. This got to be a team that dies before.
Yeah, I'm like,
I felt like what you said.
Out.
I felt like what you said, Anthony. It just was to set the tone, but I felt like they needed to set the tone of what it was going to be. Yeah. Because as far as like how, let me finish for a second. Hold on, let me finish. As far as like how zany, how crazy, and like how bonkers it would be, and the fact that, like you said, he did have the cuffs off for this movie because it's DC, so he's able to have cursing and sexual references and people actually dying and blood and blowing up and stuff like that. And I felt like James Gunn is perfect because the Suicide Squad is just that. Like, they were crazy hell in the first movie, but they kind of have restraints on them, I guess, by the WB executives. But the Suicide Squad and the Guardians, they need to be the ones who are less grounded and more crazy. So I felt like if you are, like, I guess if you kind of know who they are, then this is what you want from them or whatever. The Suicide Squad. If they're more like Superman or Batman, it's not really who they are. But go ahead, yeah.
So for me, right, you watch a Guardians of the Galaxy. We all agree they're pretty good movies. I wasn't even interested. I've never seen any of them. Maybe I've seen. I didn't see any of them in the movies, right? But they were good enough. I mean, when I seen them, I was like, I mean, they're not my favorite Marvel movies because they're more silly, right? Yeah. But they was good. I felt like they didn't have to be like. I felt like this was just so. Every chance they got, it just wanted you to either laugh or just be like, "That's crazy," like in a silly way. Like you said, zany. When do you use the word zany? For what movie have you used the word zany? Just that alone is like, for me, I was like, this could have been an episode of Tiny Toons. Like, what are you watching? Saturday morning cartoon? That's how I felt.
Wait, we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, you're talking about this movie.
I'm talking about
Suicide
Squad.
This movie. Okay,
now,
okay.
Some people may have liked that. If you did, then this was for you. For me, I was like Batista. Anyway.
That's hilarious. Guardians is in my top 5 Marvel movies, by the way. Guardians 1. I think it's almost a perfect movie. Like it's great. But I do get to me personally or whatever like that. I think for that he couldn't be as zany, but the music, the 80s soundtrack, it just sets that whole movie off or whatever, like crazy.
And Guardians of the Galaxy.
And Guardians. And this one, the laughter you're talking about, I think that's what I like. Like the jokes actually caught me off guard. And I see jokes coming, but I actually laughed out loud like a bunch of times in this movie and whatnot. So I feel like he did his part with that. I got what I was looking for, I guess. Second time around, really, I liked it even more. But anyway, since Anthony already gave his opinion, without giving a number, what'd you guys think of the movie overall, Dave? Like, of this movie?
Oh, you want to do that already?
Well, you already said you already gave yours, so not the number, but what'd you think of the movie overall, Dave?
Oh, got you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I think they could have did without the entire. I'm gonna get to all this later, but I'm just gonna give you a reason why my ranking is. They could have did without the entire Soul Sawyer subplot. They could have took that the Soul Sawyer, the military chick with the army.
Oh, okay.
They could have did away with that whole military coup.
Oh,
they could have did away with all of that.
Yeah, you know what?
Literally, and trim 45 minutes off this movie, and still have it be better than what this was. That stalled the main story a lot of times. I felt. Other than that, the laughs were there like all through the movie. King Shark and Ratcatcher stole the show. I liked it, yo, dude. If I'm gonna have to rate this movie, it's probably gonna be like an 8.5.
No rating. No rating.
Oh, no rating. That's why it's a great movie. Put it like this: it's the third best DC movie ever. Behind.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
Yeah, behind Dark Knight and Joker.
Mike, I thought he said it was the best DC movie.
No. People were saying it's the best. Oh, as far as action movies, the best DC movie ever, action wise. All right, because Dark Knight, what is it? The one with the Joker is Dark Knight, right?
Yeah,
Dark Knight Rises. So Dark Knight. Oh, just Dark Knight. So the Dark Knight was a cerebral movie, and it made it a great movie. Joker was a very cerebral movie. Both of those movies were really low on action. They were more on like mental games. As far as action movies, this is by far the best DC movie in terms of action movies. And you could take that 4-hour Justice League and use every bit of action in it, and they still have more. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Just an overview. What do you think of this movie, by the way?
I loved it. It was one of my favorites. My favorite character, I lean more towards Bloodsport and Polka Dot Man. Those were my 2 favorites. I was messing with King Shark, but then when he tried to eat a girl while she was asleep,
like a sub.
Yeah,
Polka Dot Man.
Yeah,
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man is people's favorite character in this movie.
Yo, I'm watching
a lot of like reviews and whatnot. So
you know what?
Yeah, he surprised me, yo.
Worried about Milton, which was a regular person. Was in that predicament. Polka Dot Man worried about me. Somebody worried about me. Yeah.
Yo, that whole scene right there is hilarious.
Yes, yeah.
But speaking of the action, though, Harley Quinn stole the show with her scene, man. As far as action, when she beat up all the guys in that little cell or whatever, I was like, man, let her go in.
The whole house.
They let her go in.
Oh, yeah.
The moment Bloodsport looked at John Cena, when he fell through that floor, I felt all that energy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me back up. So we passed the first scene. This guy's a polka dot man. It's funny as hell. But yeah. So we so speaking of that, we do get them going through the woods and stuff like that after the first team gets killed, right? And then like Dave said, they kind of get together. I think Eve was alluding to it. We found out about King Shark. He tries to eat the girl, and we found out about the Ratcatcher 2 is her name. Ratcatcher 2 and her power and stuff like that. And how you guys starting to like these characters? Let me start with you, Ant. Like the King Shark, Ratcatcher 2, as they're going through the woods and getting to know each other and stuff like that.
Dumb as hell. Dumbest characters ever in the movie. Like, if Zany is perfect, right? So if we just like, if this is like a live action Tiny Toons, they did their thing, you know?
No, it's a live action Suicide Squad, because that's what the Suicide Squad is.
Right. Well, you live action Tiny Toons movie. This is perfect. Like, you could have had like a Roadrunner in there, Bugs Bunny. Like this probably rivals with Space Jam.
Let me ask you a question real quick before I get to Dave and them.
Wow.
Right.
Sorry. Wow.
So if the Suicide Squad is like this in the comics, shouldn't it be true to the comics?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But what I would say is, though, it's called directing, right? So if you take a movie and you're gonna put right, it's just like Ninja Turtles. How silly was Ninja Turtles? Ninja Turtles wasn't as like, I feel like that's the thing, right? We always want to see somebody. Can you make a cartoon that we love as a child or adult, whatever, and make it into a movie? You got robots that transforms into cars, right? You got turtles that's ninjas, right? So you got all this stuff. So can you put it on screen, right? Like, so for instance, Wolverine, they decided, you know what, on screen, it's probably gonna look funny him having this tight blue and yellow outfit. So they said, let's not do it, right? But that's iconic. That's what Wolverine wears. But somebody said, as a director, this probably isn't gonna go right on film, right? So for me, right, I never read a Suicide Squad book, so I don't know if it's zany. I'll use your word. I'm going to constantly come back to that. Okay. I don't know if it's that zany in the comic books, but I feel like, I don't know if Guardians of the Galaxy is that zany, but guess what? Guardians of the Galaxy was definitely not, I couldn't even use the word zany for Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like rooted, it was silly, right? And it was funny, but for me, I was like, you know, I could see that. This was just like, this was Tiny Toons. This was Space Jams. So for me, I feel like, again, I never watched the book. So maybe read a book, maybe in the book is that over the top, right? So the fans are like, bro, they made Polka Dot Man, you know, maybe. But for me, as a person just watching it, a novice of it, I feel like it didn't, for me, I was turned off. I'm not gonna say it didn't have to, because there's fans, people loving it. Rotten Tomatoes, well, it was 94, it's 93 now, but who knows what it is now. But some people may have loved it, right? Like, you guys love it. But for me, I felt like I thought it was going to be a little more grounded. So when I seen the trailer, I was like, yo, it looks so crazy and over the top. And again, I'm not a DC fan, so it didn't have to be the greatest movie for me to enjoy it, but it never stopped being like zany. You know what I'm saying? I was just like,
so it more sounds like to me that you felt like the characters they chose from the squad.
Because I don't know if there's other, I don't know.
So like, okay, for example, okay, Polka Dot Man.
There's a lot.
Right, it's a bunch. It's like 40 of them. But the Polka Dot Man,
understand, right? Every issue of Suicide Squad, members died. Every single, and they had like 48 issue run.
Yeah.
So think they start a new team and like 3 members die. One always betrays the team, and then like 2 more die in the process.
So when did Suicide Squad come out? Is it a newer book?
Nah,
older. Like older. It came out in like the 60s, 68, 70s,
yeah.
Like it's like the early 70s. But it got scrapped and shelved for a long time at DC until John Ostrander brought it back.
Yeah, who was also in the movie, by the way.
Yeah, he's also in the movie. Yeah,
he's the doctor who put the thing in the back of the head.
And he brought the Suicide Squad back with a bang and made them popular in our day and time. But yeah, man,
but my thing for Anthony is that if Polka Dot Man, let's say for example, throws polka dots, right? What you think was probably just dumb character or whatever, right? But he throws polka dots in the huh? What you saying?
It looked cool though how he dissolved people. Like when it actually hit him, I was like, because he looked stupid, but I was like, bro, his power is pretty sick. Like,
all right, but my point was that Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, talks to rats. But I'm saying if they do this exact same thing in the book, how could the director change it and say give him a different power? That's what they do. or whatever. It might be a stupid power, but
well, you know what it is. Again, it was just like you said, you used the term zany, right? They could have did what they did, but it never stopped being zany. It was just so silly.
Hold on,
it's more than silly.
And you gotta elaborate. When you say things were zany, describe an incident that was zany.
I feel like I felt like they was like you know when you watch a serious cartoon, because we're gonna go in anime, right? Or animation, right? We've all seen the Transformers, right?
Yeah.
Transformers had a couple funny scenes, but it was more of a serious cartoon, right? For the most part, when people finally died in the 1986 movie, it was like, oh my God, you felt it, right? People just died, like you said, left and right. Like it just felt like nothing really mattered. It didn't matter if John Cena died. It didn't matter who really died. I felt like you just knew Harley Quinn wasn't gonna die because she's like Harley Quinn, right? So
Nobody saw Flag dying. I didn't see Flag coming.
No, I didn't see that either.
Flag. Out of those 48 issues, Flag lifted most of them.
And he's in the first movie too. That kind of
he's in the first movie.
I think that one was cool. So Flag was the reason why this is a sequel, right? Because you didn't even have to explain his character. We all knew he was that character from the other one. But as far I just feel like I don't know, like nothing, like you don't. The only thing I feel like did that great was Game of Thrones, right? Whereas like people die, you're like, wait, what? Right? But it was more serious tone. This was just so silly, zany.
All right. Well, instead of going
y'all don't have to fight me on it, man.
We're not fighting you. I'm asking you a question, bro.
I just wanted to know, what you consider
it was
zany.
Just too like zany for me, man. Like
when I hear the word zany, I think of Animaniacs, hitting people in the head with a mallet.
Animaniacs.
I don't think it was a bad movie. I don't think it's the movie for you.
All right, hold on. Let me say this real quick. For instance, right? When you think of Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
When you think of Rocket, you're like, what? But he's just a small talking animal and he got cool weapons. You're like, okay, I'm gonna give him a pass. You think of Groot and you're like, a wood dude, but like he barely talked, so he wasn't that silly. He just said, I'm a Groot. And it was like, oh wow, that was a comedic element, right? You got the polka dot dude, you got the shark guy, you got the it just never stopped being dumb as hell. Like never. Like every scene, it was
King Shark is a boss. Like
King Shark is a boss.
King Shark been giving Aquaman work for like the last 30 years.
Go ahead, E. What's that?
I'm saying, you telling me a guy that throws polka dots bothers you more than a talking raccoon?
Yeah, like because Rocket was I guess his personality. No, listen, his personality, like Rocket was like, he reminds you of like a regular person. Even the polka dot dude was like seeing his mom. Like, come on, listen. Hold on, I'm about to get y'all. I'm about to get y'all. Yo, everybody and their mom had a problem with Peter Parker, Spider-Man 3, walking down. It was dumb as hell. Why did they put that in the movie?
That was dumb as hell.
Dancing. Oh, he got his mom all around him. Come on.
Venom taught him how to dance. Venom came for another plan to teach Peter Parker how to dance.
Right.
He didn't know how to do all that before, but apparently that's the dancing
polka dot dude. His mom in the nightclub. He got all his mom around him.
He said,
I'll agree with you on that. No, I'm going to concede. I'm going to agree with Ed on that. I didn't like the mother angle.
No, I love the mother angle because it's like, that everybody
added craziness
that he will kill. That's what it's telling you.
My point is that they wanted it to be zany. Every chance they got, it was something so extra. It was like, dude, his mom is there. Like, you can never take it serious at all.
And at the end, when he saw his mother destroying the buildings too, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, I thought that was
like,
a little
it made somebody
I was like, come on, bro. Okay, they pushed the mother joke a little too far.
I don't think you're supposed to take. I mean, I'm not trying to sway you. I know, but I don't think you're supposed to take it serious though, or whatever like that. I think it's just
that's true. This isn't like a serious espionage. It's meant to give you laughs and hysterical. Whoa.
Here's my problem: the movie that you can't take serious at all. How's it getting 93s? How is it your third favorite DC movie? Like.
Because it was full of entertaining action. You said it earlier in this pod that if it entertains you, you're with it.
Right.
This entertained me. What? The action entertained me. The almost nonstop.
Action and comedy, I will say.
And comedy and half of the plot.
and you was
of the movie.
definitely a fan of Tiny Toons, right, and I know you love Space Jams. So I get
I don't love Space Jam. No.
Hey, yo, Mike, why don't you tell Ant how I feel about Space Jam? Man?
Yeah, it was like the same movie. I don't get it.
Don't ever insult this movie.
Let me ask you this, Ant, because I want to just go all over the place here now. Who was your favorite character then, since you were? And I'm gonna ask you guys too. Same thing.
I think I liked Bloodsport. He was just kind of cool to me, and I liked his outfit. I liked how his mouth looked like he had a predator, not the predator, an alien mask on or something. Biasly, I'm a fan. I'm a John Cena fan. I'm a wrestling fan. So, but I think Bloodsport, him. When I think of a character like, what powers would I want, right? So he had I couldn't tell that it was something special with the suit. I didn't realize that he was, because I think you were saying that he was getting his guns from the suit. So again, they just poorly explained that. But the fact that he was pulling out halfway through the movie, I realized like, oh wait, I think that one weapon is turned into the weapons. I thought that was that was pretty cool, and I just liked his outfit. So he was my favorite character just aesthetically and what his abilities was compared to everybody else. On a serious tone. Now, silly wise, I think the shark was probably my silly favorite character. He was just a big shark. It made no sense that he never needed water, but we're not even.
Who was your least favorite character? I'm gonna ask you guys the same thing.
I want to say Polka Dot Man, but I think his special was cool as hell. Like it was powerful. I'm a power guy too. Remember, I don't like Batman because I feel like he's not a superhero. He's just a hero. Polka Dot Man, he will rip Batman. Like his things, his dots, they disintegrated people. So, I'm trying to think. Who I didn't like. I mean, the Rat Girl. I could give her a pass. She reminded me of the Rat King from Ninja Turtles. So it was dumb as hell. But maybe Ratcatcher 1 was her dad, was the Rat King. Maybe it's Italian.
It could be Taika Waititi.
I don't know. It's so crazy. Like everybody was just dumb. Like I don't know who was the dumb. It was so dumb. I like some of the dumb stuff. Like because it was just, if we're talking about who's my least favorite character, it's hard to even pick.
All right, I'm gonna move on. Dave, who's your favorite character then, bro?
I had a couple, man. I can't narrow it down to one. Ratcatcher 2 for sure. She stole.
If you had to, Dave.
If you had narrowed down to one, come on.
I had to narrow it down to one. Probably Bloodsport because I'm an Idris Elba fan. Plus his suit was cool. Plus he was kind of like the hero of the movie. He was in the Will Smith spot. I'm gonna call it the Deadshot spot. And I like Deadshot. He's my favorite character from the first one. So most like I'm gonna say Idris Elba, but I like the whole squad to be honest.
So you have the least favorite character?
Least favorite character. The javelin dude. You could have just did away with him altogether.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll do that too. I agree. Yeah.
Because half them dudes on the beach you could have did away with just on the simple fact that you didn't get to see them do anything.
But that
they were villains.
Hold on. Can I change
they could have got arrested by regular cops. Like,
nah, I don't know about that.
Javelin, come on, man. Javelin gets shot right in his chest 5 times.
I mean, but the girl, she a whole alien, the one who jumped on the helicopter.
And then she's stupid as shit. She don't live through that. Like,
I mean, she was dumb, but she is a whole. I don't think she's given by regular cops. She a whole alien, whatever like that. So.
Yeah, I feel they failed her. They failed her because when you're a Mongol, Mongols as strong as Superman.
Yeah.
So all that burning up and all that shouldn't have happened to her. She should have walked out of that.
I would have loved to see them at least kick some ass, and then somebody bring in some big gun tanks or whatever, fuck them up.
They did. They did let Boomerang kill a couple people at first, at least. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they had to before they killed him off in 7 minutes. Like, yo, come on, bro. Like, yo.
Real quick, let me change my answer. My least favorite, and that's when the movie just really was like, all right, I'm done. Detachable Boy, when his thing, it wasn't even.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like, I was like, oh damn, he about to go, and I thought his hand was gonna like fly through people, or he was just like.
I think that was the funny part of it, though, to me.
Yeah, it was meant for a laugh, yo.
It did. Hey, yo, when they shot them over, I was done.
Yeah,
I was done too. Well, you got different duns though.
And then Savant also disappointed me. I expected to see him kill some people, but
Shouts out to Mr. Urban Wild. I saw him in the chat too, popping up or whatever.
Yeah,
one of
he's
our
in the
guys.
building.
Or whatever.
Building.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
man.
kill nobody because he paid attention to too much death. He was watching too many people die to do anything. He was done.
But nah, man.
All right, Ace, who's your favorite? Was Polka Dot Man your favorite?
Nah, my favorite was Bloodsport. I'm telling
Everybody's favorite was Bloodsport. Okay.
Bloodsport killed it for me, man.
Yeah,
I like this argument with his daughter when they was going back.
Yeah.
That's probably the most serious part of the movie for about 2 minutes.
Call
it in the neck.
Your least favorite?
My least favorite. I'm gonna go with. It's out of the Javelin dude.
Facts.
And my least favorite, man. That rat.
See, can I be honest with you?
That weasel.
A weasel.
You know something's wrong when we can't. Usually you be like, oh, that guy's my least favorite. Yo, everybody was so stupid. We're having a hard time picking our least favorite.
I think it's opposite. All your least favorites come from the original team on the beach, but not from the team that was in most of the movie.
Right.
So I think that tells you like the team that was in most of the movie. Actually.
I love the team that was in the most of the movie.
The team.
So okay, then it's even hard for us to figure out through the bum squad.
Not for me. Javelin was the worst one. He was just a dude with a stick. That was it.
I mean, but you know what though?
Yeah.
Maybe if he got it. He's a dude with a stick, but his skills with the stick might be serious.
Gee, it would have been nice to see him kill one guy.
With the stick.
He went winless.
Isn't he like a Flash villain, Javelin? He's somebody villain.
He is like F tier, bro. Like, I don't even know where they got him.
He's somebody villain, bro. I swear.
Unfortunately.
But you know what though? Maybe if he got it. He's sick.
That's me. One of y'all just got.
Yo, Weasel did have me dying, yo.
Yeah, I thought I heard that. All right. And my favorite, I didn't give mine yet. So, my favorite character. I did like Bloodsport like everybody else. Not because of his suit though. I like his comedy because it's like dry comedy and it made me laugh too. Like the whole scene about Milton when he was like, "Why is he even here?" I thought he was
back in the truck. What's he gonna do?
Right. What is he gonna do? Why is he here?
What's he gonna do?
That shit had me dying for real.
And then when John Cena shot by his helmet and he looked at him like.
The crazy shit is, remember when they came out when they were doing their whole team walkout scene? Miller was on the far right. I had to watch it the second time to find out if he was there. He's all the way on the far right, walking with the team like you remember the Suicide Squad. Like,
I thought he was good with that, and of course his suit was pretty dope or whatever. But I think he had everything on there. And then my least favorite, probably go with the Bum Squad. I probably go with Pete Davidson's character. He really did nothing, literally at all, stuff like that.
All of them.
What character was that?
He was the one who sold them out and was on the beach or whatever.
He was the second one to die after Weasel.
Yeah. I think he was just there for like fan service. He's a popular guy, Pete Davidson, regularly and stuff like that. So I think he was just there for that. That's the only thing I didn't like actually was that usage of him and stuff like that. Besides
that way he was fucking with the guard before they went. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like a comedian dude.
Yeah, Weasel Easter egg was Sean Gunn. He was played by James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, or whatever.
Franklin. He was also in the prison when he told Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, he was.
Calendar Man.
Yeah, Calendar Man. Yeah, he was playing Calendar Man.
But anyway, let's go back into the movie a little bit. So, you were speaking to this, Dave, yourself. When they go to save Flag, and they kill all those what do they call it? Refugees or whatever. And they find out that they were on their side and whatnot. But you see the battle between Bloodsport and Peacemaker. I just thought about that whole scene. I like that scene myself personally. But
it was arguably the best scene in the movie. To show the dynamic between the two. I was surprised by how much chemistry John Cena, because I hate John Cena's acting. Like up to this movie, I always thought he was the worst actor you can go.
You didn't like her in Breakers?
Blockers.
Who?
Blockers? John Cena.
I haven't seen Blockers.
Blockers is hilarious.
That's probably his best.
Probably never saw Blockers.
Watch Blockers, bro. It's funny as shit. I like Blockers.
You'll Blockers. He feel like a just regular actor. Like you just forget. Like, oh yeah, he's the John Cena. Like I give him credit.
It's hard for me to forget that.
It wasn't for me for him this time. Usually it is, but this time I felt like he fit the character.
He was in his element. Yeah.
Like ever since the Marine traumatized me.
That's why you gotta watch Blockers. If you watch Blockers, hold on, Blockers shows his comedic element. So I think that it helped them. Like if you watch Blockers and then watch this, it kind of like you see where he's starting to change and become more active.
Also, if you watch wrestling, like John has always been silly. Like he turned on his serious. 16-time champ, but he's always silly. Remember, he was the one Word Life with Basic Thug and Knives with the big chains, and he's rapping. Like John has always had some type of range in wrestling.
Yeah. Plus he was, after he became a John Cena, he never went heel. So he's always been silly the whole time or whatever. The whole time. And how you felt about that scene on the beach where they went and saved Flag or whatever and stuff like that. And they killed the refugees by mistake, I guess.
I was enjoying it too, right? Listen, I was enjoying every kill. I was like, yeah, they tearing these dudes up. Till I found out that was her family. I was like, yo, these niggas just ran through everybody. Except that grimy shit he did when son was asleep.
Oh, but he chopped him up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was dirty.
That was straight up my... I thought that was crazy.
And what about you with that scene, Ant? I guess you would say dumb as hell. What you think about that?
What's hard is see this again. Like I said, every chance they got, they had to dumb it down. So it was epic. Obviously it's silly, right? We're just gonna have to say it. It is what it is, a silly movie, right? So it was cool seeing them battle each other and who could kill who. It reminded me of wrestling. Like there's moments in wrestling where you'll have two guys that's against each other, and then they're beating up like Stone Cold stun somebody, The Rock or rock bottom somebody. He's like, oh, then he hit somebody with a chair. So it reminded me of that type of stuff. But then, right, you had to make the scene for nothing because the person you teaming up with, it happened to be their family. It's like, oh wait, what? And she was just like, man, all right, whatever. Let's just move on because that never happened.
I do a deal with the devil to get to do what I do. So
you know what? I do want to say I kind of agree with Dave. I think her and that whole subplot was a waste of time. And her in particular, she's a good actress. She was in The Purge, just not the new Purge.
Yeah, like I was wrong. She's a really good actress. She's a
a lot of stuff. You know what her first breakout role for me was? She was the girl in I Am Legend.
She was, She was.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
That is
I never forgot her from that. Yeah.
Yes.
What made her stand out to me? Predators with the S at the end.
Yeah. So again, and she was a badass in The Purge just now, actually. So I felt kind of like they wasted her as an actress or whatever like that. Like they could have anybody.
You know what I would have did? I would have had Rick Flag squad because he didn't know that Dubois was on the island as well. He didn't know about the whole second squad, right? So I would have had Rick Flag Suicide Squad see Dubois since they were in the military together and think that they're the bad guys and have his squad get killed by Dubois' squad. That would have been a better use. You would have saw some of the abilities of the other Suicide Squad instead of getting mopped up by regular.
But you know what I want to say? Yeah, you know what else I want to say, Dave? To piggyback off that, Rick Flag and Dubois, Bloodsport, they felt like they had a relationship, but they didn't explore it enough. They had a past together, and they could have fleshed that out a lot better and whatnot.
Yeah, you know other than the throwaway line, she's like, "You were both in the Secret Service together." Oh, really? Oh, gee whiz! Like, really?
Right.
Well, they
recommended it for the squad, but
and when they were drinking together, they didn't have words, but they just touched on how with each other.
Yeah.
Partying, you could feel it. Like, oh, okay, look, them two definitely they definitely had something going on back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And speaking of that, when they do finally get flagged, they do wind up going in town and going to that bar, and we see Flag, Peacemaker, and Bloodsport get captured and stuff like that, and they and they have to do their thing to get out and stuff. How'd you feel about that part, Dave?
Bullshit.
Wow.
Sorry, they should have got a little bit more injured than that. I always hate those scenes where the back of the security truck rolls, bro. You ain't sitting nowhere. You're getting knocked the hell out back there. You're not gonna open the door and come out looking like a badass. Like, whatever. It was over the top. It was campy. The movie was campy, but the movie lost a little bit of a point there. For things like
Before
that.
that, though, we do get Ratcatcher 2's backstory inside the truck. When I think about it as
well. Somewhat.
But
I would have liked her to get fleshed out a little bit more as well.
I felt they did good with that. No, I said you need.
She definitely had one of the more in depth. That's the one thing they didn't really do this time around. They didn't go so far in depth. Like they didn't show any flashback to Polka Dot Man getting his powers.
Yeah.
They didn't show any flashback to half of the people there. They were just. She's like one of the only ones that really got a flashback.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit building up on Polka Dot Man face, that shit was looking nasty.
The dude, it was all done like with prosthetics. There was no CGI.
Nah,
it was all prosthetic. Yeah, it was all prosthetic. I read that, that they did everything. They put little LED colored bulbs under prosthetic skin and stuck it to his face.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so they said they wanted to look as organic as possible. So they got that off.
They got that off.
Yeah, they got that off. But
speaking of that bar scene,
movie. Whew.
Speaking of that bar scene, did you guys see who was in the bar from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, of course. Mantis.
Mantis, yeah. Did you notice that? Ant?
She was singing. She was actually.
Mantis was from in the Guardians or whatever. She was the girl who was singing up top in the red or whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought he drops like 5-10 Guardian character in this movie or whatever like that.
Pretty much. He just calls them up like, you want to do a cameo?
Speaking of that. Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. I thought he was good as that too.
Yeah, he did good at that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I didn't know he was him, but when the movie first started, I said to Mike, I was like, "Yo, it says Sylvester Stallone." In the opening credits, he was like, "Yeah, like he's the shark." I was like, "Oh," and I would have never known.
Even if you heard it, you wouldn't known it was him. Heard it was. Oh wow!
I forgot he was until you said it right now.
I would have
said it in the beginning.
I would have said, "Why'd they make that shark sound like Rocky?"
No, I didn't. I forgot. I totally forgot until you said it right now.
As soon as he said bird, I knew exactly who that was.
I guess it was like
he's in the
Vin Diesel as Groot,
I was going to say he's in the Vin Diesel stage of his career where pretty much all people want him to do is to say a few words. That's it.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
Well, no, but he just did Fast 9, so I wouldn't say that. Whatever. But yeah. And I'm pretty sure Sylvester Stallone gonna be in Guardians 3 as well.
Sci-fi movies, sci-fi racing movies.
Is he gonna be that dude again?
Yeah, the Ravager dude. Yeah, same one or whatever. So I thought that I thought it was smart for Dubois to let those three get captured because those three were the strongest of the team to be able to get out and stuff like that. Flag.
Three straight humans.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here. Without his suit, without Bloodsport's suit, he's just a straight human.
But he had
Rick Flag is just a straight human.
He put that.
Peacemaker is just a straight human. So we're the strongest members of the team because what?
No. Who else was?
I would have let Polka Dot Man. Them military didn't have any way to contain his powers. Let Polka Dot Man be the one to get arrested and just Polka Dot the shell of their ass in the back of that truck. He burned himself away out. Problem solved. No crash. No nothing.
But you know what? Again, problem Polka Dot Man was he wasn't like he didn't have like a alpha attitude, so he might let him take him or whatever like that. He got taken already, right? So
here's the thing. I think Mike, you skipped me too, but I think they do that with a super powerful character, so he won't be over the top. It's like Superman. Superman is he's a goody two shoe, but he's like the most powerful, so it made sense for the writing wise to make Polka Dot Man be like, he's who he reminded me of? Remember my man, and I'm going back a little bit, I'm older than y'all, but remember Con Air? They always kept my man in the chained up, looking like Hannibal Lecter because he killed so many people. And then when he finally let him out, he was just sitting in the chair like, this is cool being on the plane. You're like, wait, you're the guy we're terrified of. That the other inmates didn't even want to let him out because he was that scary because he killed so many people. Polka Dot Man reminded me of that character. But let me say something real quick to the scene.
Go ahead, bro.
I know, Dave, you felt like it was the part you didn't like, but I felt like it just continued with the zaniness, right? They flip over, whatever. But what was cool was for a Ratcatcher 2 story, I thought it was visually it was cool that in the window of the bus was her flashbacks.
Yeah.
So
that was a very cool aspect.
That was really cool. The camera gets her face speaking and it's going on right there. I thought that was cool. And then just to highlight in the club, it was the more calm down, like them trying to look like they're regular people. So, it's always cool when they try to do that. They take these characters with powers and they try to give them a little sense of
normalcy.
Moment.
Every teen movie has the bonding moment. That's the bonding moment.
Yeah.
Back there too.
Who?
Huh?
Who was back there with them in that truck? Was it John Cena?
Yeah, it was Peacemaker.
Yeah. Peacemaker and Polka Dot Man.
Peacemaker.
No. It's Peacemaker, Flag, and Bloodsport.
And Bloodsport. And isn't Peacemaker Super Soldier?
No.
So regular ass man taught to fight.
Really.
Straight up. All three of them were regular humans. No special abilities whatsoever other than know how to fight.
Are we gonna get? I mean, I guess it makes sense for this movie, but we're just gonna pass the whole my man Tobey Maguire in with his mom. We're gonna just act like that ain't happening.
I thought that once they established, hold on. Let me say my part. I thought that once they established that he sees his mom everywhere, that was not. He sees her everywhere. That's what he said because he hates her so much or whatever. I'm just
saying, my man. I mean, I guess in this movie, because when Toby walked down the street dancing in Spider-Man, the world was lost.
But listen. But everybody liked it if you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier when they saw
Zemo moment. Yeah,
Zemo dancing. That's what became like a huge meme on the internet.
They made a 1 hour loop of that.
Yeah, everybody loved it. So I felt like it reminded me of that actually, the Zemo dancing moment. From Falcon
it did. It didn't bother for literally dancing in the club.
Yeah, I mean, if it just felt right in the movie. It was dumb as hell, but it felt right in the movie.
What, to be in the club dancing?
That's too zany.
But you know what? Let me go back to why they were in the club. How did you guys feel about the Thinker? They were going to get him and his character.
I like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I even like when they was talking shit to him, walking past each other, and Harley Quinn going off the loop. Yeah, I like that. That was good.
What about the character himself, Anthony the Thinker? What do you think about him? Oh, no.
I thought he was. I mean, you know what? I thought he was all right. He reminded me of that. He reminded me of Baxter Stockman from Ninja Turtles. You always need that that scientist dude that goes a little over the edge. Baxter Stockman that turned himself into a fly, and this guy, he's just, I mean, again, zany, because who's walking up in the club with all these things sticking out your forehead? But it just he reminded me of that over the top nerd, scientist villain.
Yeah. And what about you, about the Thinker, Dave? What do you think about that?
I thought he was a good cast. He played the Thinker pretty well, but again, the Thinker from the comics would never go to a bar. He didn't care about him getting ass, not like that. He was trying to take over the world. So,
but they had to do it.
But they had to dirty him up for the movie. So, but I thought he was well cast. I thought he played his role beautifully. I liked him. I ain't gonna lie, I liked it. I didn't like. I thought the whole mission could have went, like I said, it's cleaner. They could have got in, got him, got out. A lot of this stuff was just sidelining the main mission, but that was part of the main mission, was getting to him. So,
all right. Well, let's talk about Harley now, which we kind of have only going into. So let's talk about the fact that, she's captured this aristocrat guy or whatever. He wants her to be his wife. They show this whole little dream sequence. She kills him and whatnot in that part. And then they try to torture her. Anthony, go ahead. You already put your hands on. What you feel about that whole part?
It's just another part. Again, like I said, this could have been the trailer. Just you make a Pulp Fiction this movie. Cut it up. Throw the script in the air. Whatever hits the ground first, we're gonna do that first. So I felt like what? I mean, the best part of this part you're talking about was to give her the for me the coolest fight scene. She went in, but you back it up. I want to marry you. Oh, and then have sex on the rug and tear up everything. And I just felt like, bro, y'all just can't. You cannot take a moment of seriousness in this movie at all. So I felt like what my issue with the let it be silly, but everything that happened ended up having no meaning. So if you got rid of that whole scene, it didn't do anything for the movie. You would have been like, oh, we could just there was so much of this movie just didn't even matter, is what I'm saying, right? Like, you know how a movie, oh, you went here and you got the dude and you got the special weapon and you had to go here to get the guy that could unlock the weapon and get the ammo and then this is the weapon we're going to use to kill the bad guy at the end. And I was like, yo, we just went and got donuts and we saw my boy and we was talking. What's up, Craig? You got fired today? Yeah, man. All right, well, then but anyway, as far as the movie and the scene, I mean, it was a cool little scene for her, I mean, I love how she broke out, how she was chained up, and how she was playing it off. I love how she.
Did you see her killing him, or were you surprised by that? That caught me off guard.
I was surprised by that. Yeah, I didn't see her doing that. I thought maybe he was going to join them or something. He was going to maybe give maybe some of his forces to them or somehow he was going to help her because they love. And I thought she was gonna like, well, I can't marry you, but can you help us or something, or can you let me go or something? So that did caught me off guard.
Okay, Dave, how you felt about the whole thing, Harley Quinn, her whole subplot with the guy and getting out and killing him and all that stuff?
The moment she asked, "Is that Jotunheim?" I was like, "This guy's dead." she's gonna kill his ass because now she's got what she wants from him, and he's telling her everything. That's a bad guy, tell you everything moment. That's what I thought from that. From there, I'm gonna agree with Ant. Her whole scene of after the torture and then the escaping with the flowers and glowing and cartoon birds. Again, they could have scrapped all that. They could have scrapped all that and just had her walking down the hall doing all this without that. But it's Harley Quinn, so it's whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Well, I'm gonna get to why I didn't have a problem with that. But we think about the whole Harley part with the guy, the marriage, killing him, and the escaping part. What do you think about that?
It had me lost for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. When that part was happening in the film, I was like, "What? Where is this from? And where is she at? And how long has she been there? And what, like what is everybody else doing where she's doing this? And she's gone for that long to even have because I couldn't tell if it was a long relationship or it was a one night. I just couldn't tell. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But the flower shit was over the top, but it made sense. Because she's nutty like the Joker, and not like how Deadpool be seeing nutty stuff like when he had the unicorn.
Well, Deadpool needed a spike through his head to see that.
But I'm saying going with the flow, like okay,
nutty. Yeah, she just seen it out of nowhere. That was kind of change.
It added a nice artistic element to the movie. No lie.
Yeah.
But I think they could have done without it, and the scene still would have been just fire. Of her escaping, like the circular room where she's doing all the shooting. That was on point. It was
so I keep bringing up old movies that's distinct. I thought of, but when I was younger, right? I don't know how much younger, but one of and I can't remember the name of the movie, so you guys are gonna have to help me. Do you remember the movie that was a big deal with the gun katas? It was like like under the radar. Like it's when it called it gun kata. So like you were taught like only certain people was taught a gun kata. So like. Meaning, like, if 30 people was in a room, you were taught that you could pull your gun out, like, turn, shoot.
Yeah, like a kata. Yeah, it was practice.
Yeah, man, it was a big deal.
I know a movie you're talking about too. I can't remember the name of it either, but it did remind me of that. Yeah, it was like a throwback to that a little bit. I love that part though. It was dope. Like the way it was shot, from like the high angle. I thought it was pretty dope and whatnot. I did like that. As far as her whole part, so. I think that was, first of all, I didn't like her having this off little solo time away from the team so much or whatever. Me personally. I thought that whole part, like she could have just been kidnapped and somehow killed him anyway without the whole marriage and sex part, like Anthony was talking about. I felt like that was a waste of time to me and whatnot. I don't know why it even needed that in the movie. Her escape was dope though, the whole thing. How she got out, the shooting and stuff like that. Now, as far as the hallway, like Dave said, the fights were dope. They didn't need the flowers and the birds and stuff like that. But if you saw Birds of Prey, which I did, I get it because a lot of that stuff comes out when Harley's fighting in Birds of Prey, which is not a good movie, by the way. Okay. But if you did see Birds of Prey, that's what happens when they show. So I think it was true to her character and whatnot. So it didn't bother me as much because I kind of expected it a little bit because I saw it.
And it just fits, not for nothing. If birds flying around your head like it was a Disney cartoon, but it's live action, it's just zany, right? Let's just call it for what it is. So it just
that part of it was zany. That part of the movie was zany. I'll give you that.
It fits in this movie.
But it fit that scene. Like so,
I thought it fit her character from previous movies. That's what I felt like, or whatever. So, me personally, and I want to go back one thing. But I do still think this is the best I've seen Harley in all three movies: Suicide Squad,
agreed.
Birds of Prey, and this movie and whatnot.
Yep. Agreed.
This is
the best Harley.
Yeah, 100% on that.
Yeah, Harley. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to them trying to get her out, but she's already out. I thought it was a funny scene too, or whatever, with the javelin. Then we get the new El Presidente, or whatever, who comes up or whatever. And, this whole transferring of power real quick from one guy to another, I didn't like that either, by the way. I felt like it didn't have any, Yeah, it didn't hold any like weight. Like it's okay. One guy, he's evil. He dies. Now next guy. It's like yo, like I'm not really hating these guys. They're not evil long enough for me to hate them. I guess.
Saturday morning cartoon, man. We got 30 minutes. Let's make this episode real quick.
But they right though. You know, it's always another evil guy that comes in the power that's even more crazier than the last guy.
Yeah, but I will say, skip around. It was funny though when the last guy is like, "Okay, hey, I'm president now," and then he gets killed right away. I thought that was hilarious. Whatever, at the end of the movie, or whatever. But again, what Dave said, like those whole refugees going even to that building to kill them, waste of time. Didn't need in the movie at all. Now let's go to they got Harley, and they're finally going to go to Jotunheim. And I thought that for me, the beginning part when it was white and it was raining and they were going in there, I thought that was epic. I love how that looked, and I love how they killed those soldiers at the door and stuff like that. We all thought about that part and whatnot. Anybody?
Yeah, the rain was beautiful. The slow walk, everything was perfect, and especially how my boy Idris pulled that off, being in the middle, looking like the leader. Yeah, even with Rick Flag there, he still looked like the one person running the team, Bloodsport.
Yeah. Dave, we thought about that part, the rain and the
it was awesome. It was better the second time around, like I said, when you notice melting all the way on the far right. But yo, that whole scene, them coming straight through, epic. Like you just felt like, okay, this is it. That's a part of the movie where you go like this and you sit up like word, you grab whatever snacks you had left over. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish the snacks on this part. Like it was that movie. It was that part. Like, it was getting you ready for this. And then when they wiped the soldiers out, hilarious, yo. John Cena bashing Dinker's face in, even funny as hell too. Like that was it was great seeing, yo. It was great seeing, yo. Great.
Hey, what do you think about it, bro?
This is the part of the movie where I was like, oh man, they might restore some faith for me, baby. Let's go. This is that scene. You know what? Because it's always like, it reminds me of like the scene where the car drives and this explosion in the background, right? And stuff like that. So I thought this was pretty cool. You know, I just the rain and all that, them all coming out, like that was the epic comic book view, like scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope or whatever, the slow walk and whatnot. I think that was shot, and the white made a difference to me. I never seen like white in the background. I thought that was shot pretty well and whatnot. And how they got to the door and they barricaded themselves in, I thought was pretty dope actually. And then they kind of separate. So Flag and Ratcatcher and Peacemaker, Flag and Ratcatcher go with Thinker, and then Peacemaker stays at first with the other part of the team to put the bombs around and stuff like that. Yeah. Now, we haven't talked about it yet, but now we finally see Starro. What was your overall thoughts of Starro? Starro the Conqueror, I'll say. Dave, go ahead, buddy.
How the hell are they going to beat this? I can't wait to the end of this movie now to see how they're going to beat this. Because I'm like, yo, you didn't really get okay, the trailers gave it away how big he really was. But that was the first time you actually saw it, like, when he smacked the window. With a Ratcatcher there, and he smacked the window.
Yeah. What about the background of Starro, how they got him, and how he attaches to people?
I thought, you know what? The fact that he was able to talk through humans, they should have had him talk a lot more. It was creepy when he used the humans to talk as him. Right. Like, it added that whole ooh effect. Like, he only said a couple of lines through the whole movie. In the comics, he's a lot more talkative. So,
how you feel about Starro and his backstory?
I felt they did him dirty, man.
Okay.
And he said it. I was happy in space. He was happy chilling. You got them goofy ass Americans grabbing him, playing with him, messing with him, and then look what happened to him. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. He wasn't even the villain for real. The Tinker, what's his name? Not the Tinker.
Well, he became the villain. He was made the villain by the Tinker.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, but is he the villain? Is he? You get kidnapped.
I mean, think about it. If somebody imprisoned somebody for 30 years, they'd be like, okay, so now that you're out of prison, you have the right to destroy an entire town and kill everybody.
Yeah, you do. Because that species kidnapped you.
What? Hold up. What? Hold up. So let's just say I got wrongly accused of murder today. And 30 years later, they find out I'm allowed to come back and kill everybody in the town. I should be able to.
We're not going to do it like that. We got to do it like this. Let's say another species. and they do whatever they want to you for as long as they want to you, and then you finally get the fuck up out of there, and you're stronger than that species.
You know, so you just wipe out the whole planet.
He didn't wipe out the whole planet. He just fought where he
became the villain. Had they let him go like 3 days later after they trapped him, he might have been whatever. I'm not going to affect y'all.
Good.
Yeah, you know, but they kept him for 30 years, torturing him and making him have spawn and
right.
Yeah. So I can see why he was mad, but that made him the villain.
Right. Imagine what you're thinking. You're going to be in there like, oh man, I'm gonna kill every single one of them. Nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves this. I don't want this to happen to my kind ever again.
My question is, if they knew that he was getting bigger, they knew that he was getting bigger then, why'd they keep feeding him?
Yeah, they should have let him go.
They were feeding him to test on him to make him a weapon.
Yeah, but see, that's my thing, right? Eventually this monster's gonna get too big to hold. Like, so eventually your test is gonna have to come to an end. He had 30 years.
Fish. It's based off of starfish. Remember the way fish are. If you have the bigger the container is, the fish could grow bigger. So eventually, when we're not going to make a bigger one, then if you think of it like a starfish, he would stay that size. Here's what I want to say though. This is what we often do in life. Period. Right? We take things extraterrestrial and we try to put it in a little box. Right? I think E is right. Right? Dave, I have to disagree. You're making it like as a human, if I got wrongly accused for something, I get out of jail. You know what? I should look the other way. A being from another planet might not have the same judgment as a human. Like, why should I care? Right? He wasn't raised like, a Earth person. So remember, just think of the United States, right? Or the world, period. 50 years ago, right? Or not 50, I'll say 60, 70, 80 years ago, alcohol was illegal. Now we decide, let's make alcohol illegal, right? Weed was illegal. Now weeds pick and choose. Diapers wasn't a thing. I beat the hell out of my kid in this grocery store. But now somebody came along and said, "Oh, that's not cool." So why should an alien? No, listen. Why should an alien have to go by our worldly thoughts, right? Hell no. I broke out. I'm killing everybody. Now for us to be like, bro, we let you out now. Look the other way. Like, well, what's the other way? We don't have that on our planet.
Well, yeah. What if he's 1 trillion years old? We lock him up for 30 years. That's like locking me up for a minute and then expecting me to be like, I'm suing the police for $10 trillion. But
I still think, Dave, I think the point is that you're trying to give him human logic when he's not human.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Well, he was talking about this city is mine. Blah, blah, blah.
No, I mean he's human. That's 4 words.
By the way, you're as big as him. You only want a city.
Bro, he doesn't have human life. He don't even know where he's at. How did he know what Earth is and stuff like that?
How does he know the city limits? How does he know the city limits?
He didn't say anything about the city limits. He just knows he's in the city.
City. Yeah, the city. Okay, where does that end, wise guy? Where does it end?
He don't know. He doesn't know. That's my point.
So I'm assuming he's gonna ask one of these people that he controls. Show me the zoning ordinance.
But you're putting too much human emotions into a being from another planet.
Because y'all saying that he angry and want revenge. Revenge is a human condition.
No, it ain't. Who said that? Right.
How you know of revenge?
Yeah, revenge is a human condition,
a floating starfish in outer space.
So you telling me them lions wasn't getting revenge in Ghost of the Darkness? Those were real lions. That's revenge. They're not humans. Those animals.
Bro, that's an epic movie. Yeah.
Was that a true story?
Even Orca.
Is that how lions really react? Like we gotta go find the elk that kicked you in the head.
Oh, do you remember Orca?
Like we want that elk. What is it?
Did you see Orca from back in the day? About the killer whale?
Nah, that's not.
I'm a little older. I seen this one. But that same thing. They killed the baby whale. That whale was like, I'm killing everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. Dave, I think you put too much human logic in. You think about the starfish knowing the city limits? Like what? You don't know that. He just
which bugged me when he didn't say the world is mine.
How does he know?
He know it's a world. He's just hearing city like that.
He said that though. He said the city is mine. Did he not?
Because he knows he's in the city. That's all he knows.
How you know he didn't think the world was a city?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? He's like, the city is mine.
He got a big ass eyeball to see. Obviously, as far as there's more shit behind this.
So let me say this, because you guys are talking about the starfish. I just want to get into it. This is how I felt. So let me talk about the starfish. So here's my thing. When I seen the giant starfish and on the trailer, and the show, the movie already looked crazy and over the top. I didn't think it was gonna be the big thing they got to beat at the end. I thought it was gonna be silly and they was gonna like blow it up or something at some point, and then it was gonna be like, you know, the main henchman, or not the henchman, but the main dude. So I was like, oh wow. So as the movie was going on, I was like, oh, I guess this is gonna be the big thing, right? I mean, it is what it is. I guess it got the team moment where they all had to come together and figure out how could they beat this thing. Wasn't done as well as in X-Men Apocalypse, where they had to go against Apocalypse and everybody had to use their power together to actually beat them, which I thought was that movie.
You thought that movie was better than this movie, X-Men Apocalypse?
No. Hell yeah.
No.
Just the ending scene, them all using their powers together to take down Apocalypse.
What?
Pretty cool.
Right.
You know what made that movie so bad? The fact that they took down Apocalypse and them whack ass moves they had Apocalypse do.
Yeah.
Now,
Apocalypse looked so horrible. Like it looked so bad, bro. That was a horrible movie.
Yeah, he had the same color scheme though.
I mean, yeah.
They should have just had somebody with a more fuller face. He just looked like he was on crack.
They put Moon Knight in Apocalypse.
That's crazy. I was going to say they did my man Oscar Isaac in that role, bro. They just, I don't know why he accepted that shit. There must have been a hell of a paycheck. He was for like $50 million to do
X-Men Apocalypse is so bad, Joe. Like I can't believe that it's better than this movie.
You know what's funny? I actually
X-Men Apocalypse was horrible, yo.
I didn't have that much of a problem with it.
Wow. And he called this shit.
Listen, I'm wowing because you're like this Suicide Squad is your third favorite DC movie. I'm like, damn, bro, you got a bag of apples and you just picked the one lemon. Like, you know what, bro? We're gonna go for that lemon. Yo, you know that lemon. Hold
on. I'm going on record on
apples,
this. I'm going on.
You got red apples, you got Granny Smith, you got all the I'm going for the damn lemon.
I'm going on record saying that DC is a lemon field. All right, that once in a while produces an apple. Okay, that's what this is. They once in a while produce an apple, but most of the shit they make is lemons.
Them jellyfish came from nowhere. Where the fuck did them jellyfish come from? Please explain that to me.
Oh yeah,
the ones coming out of them. No, they showed it coming out of them. No. Not jellyfish.
Yeah, the jellyfish.
Yeah, that was attacking the shark.
Yeah. And that was weird too because he got shot. He got everything happened to him. He never bled, but when the jellyfish came, he started bleeding. I'm like, wait, why did he bleed now?
They were sucking blood out of him.
Everybody was harder than the book.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And they weren't regular jellyfish. You seen them damn things?
Dude, I was trying to. Me and my girl was trying to figure out what they was. I was like, what kind of fish is that?
They must have been from like outer space too, or something.
It looked like a sucker fish. It looked like one of them. One of them toys people use, man.
A test place. You know that place. Right? So of course they probably had other alien life in there.
Yeah, that's the only thing I.
So let me go back to so Starro, the Conqueror. He was the first Justice League villain in the comic books. So he's a Justice League level villain. So I definitely saw him being the big bad. I think anybody would be worse than him or whatever in this movie and stuff like that. But I was surprised they could beat him because again, it took the Justice League to beat Starro or whatever in the comic book.
Did he look like that? Was he a big
exactly like that?
He looked exactly like that.
He was the most true to the comics. He looked exactly like that. Had a little starfish coming out to come on your face. Same thing. Exact.
The fact that you die when the starfish go on your face in this movie.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was crazy.
I like the fact that when they tried to peel it off, your whole thing.
That was sick.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I knew he would be the big bad. And I'm like, who could be worse than fucking Starro? But I guess Anthony, you wanted to see somebody more, I guess, to have hand-to-hand combat. I guess that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of cool.
Hey, see, look, X-Men movie was shit. It was horrible. But anyway, so before we get to Starro, I just want to talk about Starro before that. But we see what happens with the Peacemaker turn. Did anybody see that coming? Or how'd you feel about the turn?
I did not. He got me. That was the best piece of acting John Cena did.
Yo, he was a piece of shit after me, for real.
Well, Here's the thing. When did he turn? He didn't turn.
He definitely turned.
He stayed true. He even said it.
He's about to say, "Yup, he right. He did. He stayed
true.
He
never turned. He stayed true to him.
Been like that. He been like that.
My man was on a mission." And listen, he had to make sure this wasn't going to be put out there by the people who hired him. Right. He did not turn.
Nobody thought that man.
That's true.
The man that said, "I would kill kids if if they had to go against Liberty, right?
Women and children.
To me, he wound up being a villain of the movie, honestly, or
right,
whatever like that.
Yeah,
you know. But I did like the fight between him and Flag or whatever. How you guys felt about that?
That was a dope fight scene.
I
very well choreographed.
Go out like that. That's all.
What happened?
I said I ain't want Flag to go out like that.
Yeah. How do you feel, Anthony, about that whole part with the turning and not turning and the fight with him and Flag and stuff like that?
Well, I thought it was cool because for me, I'm stepping outside of the movie. I was pleased that first of all, I felt like this was a perfect movie for John Cena because he's silly. He's like even now he's like a meme himself, right? People make fun of John Cena. He comes back, they don't even take him serious, right? Matter of fact, he's going to be wrestling at SummerSlam in a couple weeks, going for the title, right? People was like, he ain't winning. So I thought it was cool to also give him that right? Like you said, he kind of could have been the villain. So I was like, wow, this is pretty cool for John Cena. And then at the same time, I felt like it was able to show his acting in that type of way. Like, do I want to see him act serious? No, but this was good enough for him to act serious, to try to act serious, but you didn't have to take him serious, right? So I thought I liked it, and I just thought it was cool because I never took it as he turned. I'm like, what? My man was him being him. So it was really cool that, listen, at the end of the day, he stayed true to himself, like he alluded to. Like, listen, I kill women, children, like, you know.
Did you like him better here or in Fast 9? Well, a few weeks ago, we just saw that.
Oh, hell no. Better in here. Come on,
Okay.
Fast 9. Fast 9 was,
John Cena doesn't seem like he's a very good, serious actor. He's got comedy chops, but he don't got no serious acting skills.
Well, that's the thing. Like in wrestling, he's just silly as hell. Like when he's silly, he's always laughing. He comes out and make the crowd laugh. Then he gets serious, but he's not even serious, right? So this is a good lane for him. But in Fast and Furious, the trailers did him in. They made him, oh, he's faster than Dom. He's stronger than Dom. And he's Dom's brother. And then he was like, bro, you didn't even really get a spotlight because
he's supposed to be Dom's brother.
Yeah, he's Dom's brother in Fast 9. Yeah.
I'm sorry for the spoilers, guys.
Yeah.
Well, no, they said it in the trailer. They said
and it's a month ago too.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they did say it in the trailer.
They did.
Yeah. They did. Yeah, so he was definitely better.
I haven't seen
and not like Dom's like god brother. He's Dom's brother, like blood brother in the movie. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, my brother that I grew up with, I didn't tell you about the first.
I tell you about all the Fast and the Furious.
Well, you know what's cool though? He did tell the story about his dad in the first Fast and the Furious. Yeah. So they just took you back and showed that he left out his brother. That was cool.
Oh, okay. That's what they did.
Yeah.
So they got good writers.
No, they don't. They have horrible writers.
They do and they don't.
Yo, I haven't seen. Which one was it? Which one was it? When they had the 80-mile freeway?
Like, that was a good movie. Half
the movie was on that runway.
Yeah, that's 6. That was a good movie.
Yeah. Actually, that was the last one I seen.
One? Is that the one when they was in? Is that the one with Tony Jaa? That's the one with Paul Walker.
No, that's 7. That's 7. You're talking about Anthony. 6 was
you talking about the one with the Rock with the ball smashing everything.
I don't know. That was. I'm lost.
The wrecking ball.
6 was when Gal Gadot died. That was when they were on a giant runway, like he's talking about at the end.
Oh, that's when my man was the bad guy. My man from Dracula Untold. He was the main bad guy.
Right.
That's when they first introduced at the end. His brother was
his
Jason
brother.
Statham.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That was the longest runway in the history of.
That was still a good movie though.
Yo, you using that airport for a flight, yo? Like half your flight is taken off that runway.
That runway was as long
as an 18-hour flight.
Hey, hold up. Dave, that runway was as long as the bridge that goes to Key West in Florida.
Bro. I was like, should they have hit the little swamp area where the plane was crashed at?
Suspension of disbelief, Dave. Suspension of disbelief. That's what you got to do with this movie. Or whatever. But let me get back to this movie. Yeah, back to this movie. So we talked about his turn. I thought it was a good fight scene. I did like that whole part. It did catch me off guard, even though it was true to his character. But I did like it. I kind of wish the hand-to-hand combat would have been him and Bloodsport rather than him and Flag or whatever, because they had like this competition the whole movie, I guess, a little bit. And Flag and him didn't seem to even like have this relationship built yet. Whatever. So it didn't mean as much to me by him and Flag fighting. But when he came after Ratcatcher, I thought that's really made him the villain more than anything or whatever like that.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like the creature trying to get the girl and she's running. It gave you that.
Yeah. It gave him this big, strong dude after this girl and stuff like that. I thought that was good. Meanwhile, though, we see where the building's coming down, and I thought that Bloodsport had the best superhero landing ever because the building's coming down, and then he lands on feet. Right. Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. What y'all feel about that part and whatnot? So
that was cool. I can't say nothing about it. That was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah. And then he wound up killing, not killing, but shooting, I guess. We'll find out later on. Spoiler alert. But Peacemaker with the smaller bullet when they joined each other. I thought they had like a Wild Wild West feel when they joined each other too. What you feel about that, Dave?
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that the fight was too short. That it was literally just you draw, I draw, and that's it. Like Mike said, I wish they would have fought it out. He could have fought both. Peacemaker could have fought Flag, and then he could have fought Bloodsport. But also agree that it 100% made him the villain when he came after Ratcatcher, because they made Ratcatcher just the darling of the movie. But yeah, it was dope superhero entrance on Bloodsport's part, and a nice little callback to the beginning of the movie, where John Cena told him he uses smaller bullets to go inside his other bullets. So that was a nice little callback too. But yeah, I love that part as well. I was just mad it was only one shot. It was just a one-shot deal.
I felt like having two long hand-to-hand combat scenes would have been too much. But I think it should have been Bloodsport instead of Flag.
Yeah, they should have just
Well, he should have mopped Flag up. He should have mopped Flag up like this. Like
why? They're both human. Flag to fight too. What you mean?
But Cena's nuts and a lot more ruthless.
Nah, Peacemaker's soldier. Yo, did you see how far he threw Flag? I'm telling you,
he's strong as shit.
They made him look like he's a super soldier. But dude, I'm sorry, John Cena ain't strong enough to throw no man that hard.
Right?
Like,
John Cena, you obviously don't watch WWE.
Yo, this is like when Batman throws somebody 30 feet. Like, come on, bro.
But he used
Batman and Dawn of Justice kick some dude all across a room. And you know what the last time I saw that? Charlie Murphy kicking Rick James across the room. That's the last time I saw some shit like that. So they made
Batman and Dawn of Justice was strong as shit though. I mean, he was like fucking.
What was he on roids? Was he on roids or no? Because
did they show all these workout shit, get ready for Superman and shit like that?
Right. Yeah, when does he get the time to work out and train and run a company? Don't even get me started. Let's just stay on this movie.
Hey Ray, it's not the Death Valley Driver. It's the FU, man. Or then they had to change the name when they went to the PG era and called it the Attitude Adjustment. But it is a Death Valley Driver. But.
Yeah, he definitely.
Sorry, little wrestling going on there.
Yeah, he definitely stole that. Or whatever, but he made it his own, or whatever like that. So, yeah, like I said, I agree with that. Now, then he does shoot him or whatever, and then they get out the building. And Starro's going crazy, like we said. Now this is the part where Starro is putting the starfish on all the soldiers, but this is my part makes me mad. Like all the stars somehow avoid all the heroes of the movie. That part kind of about. Now I get Ratcatcher put the thing on her face, but everybody else didn't have nothing on their face. Yeah, and I'm like,
she just gave a generic cover your face, so everybody just goes like this, and all of a sudden they can't get infected.
But nobody else is.
Nobody else. That's what I said. No other soldier thought to do that. They were all like, "No, not my face." But apparently, the superheroes,
Yeah, I thought those were definitely plot devices, plot armor, I should say, and whatnot within that movie.
And then what happened to all the remaining fish? They hit the ground and they just died.
I think if they don't attach to anything, they die. Yeah.
Oh,
so they have to have a host. Yeah. But then we see
like splooge, yeah.
Then we see
it's got to attach to the egg.
Bloodsport. The mission is done. You know what I mean? They got everything they can get out. He decides to go after Starro. What y'all feel about that decision?
I loved it. Big hero arc. I loved it. It was redeeming from all the stuff they tried to say. To me, he seemed like a good person anyway until he got to that beach on that girl's family with Peacemaker when they started slaughtering everybody.
Oh yeah.
So I thought he was, I seen good in him from the gate.
Okay.
Who are you talking about?
Bloodsport.
Okay.
When he turned around and was like, and they started putting them guns together, letting that thing go. I respected that.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that because at this moment we see Amanda Waller and her team turns on her and knocks her upside the head with a golf club, knocks her out because she was going to kill the members for turning against the mission. Now, for me, I'm gonna say mine real quick. I felt like that wasn't true to her, or at least the outcome. Like I felt like it was too. Amanda Waller's team fears her. It was too easy for them to like just knock her out. And then like at the end, she didn't like do anything to them. She's like, yeah, they got me basically with ice over her head. I feel like, what y'all feel about that whole part with Amanda Waller and her team turning on? Go ahead, you started talking. I guess
my fault. I'm just saying we don't know what she's doing to them yet because we haven't seen the Peacemaker HBO Plus show yet. We don't know if she's going to send them with him and then he kills them in the beginning of the show and then keeps it pushing. You don't know. So that's why I didn't say nothing yet. I was like, maybe we're going to get at him.
Anthony, you want to talk? Go ahead, bro.
Bro, I'm just going to say one word. Zany. Bro, you seen Suicide Squad 1.
Yes.
And she said earlier, they was like, yo, she really killed their children? Their family? Yeah. Oh, you hit me. Zane.
Well, she did kill her whole team in Suicide Squad 1 by herself or whatever like that. So,
right.
But
I didn't see the person that hit her.
It was a small chick. It was a small chick that had the glasses on or whatever that hit her or whatnot. She had a golf club in her hand. It wasn't the guys from. It wasn't the big dude or the other chick with the blonde hair. It was a small chick.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I didn't see her at the end. At the end, standing over Peacemaker.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
And see what happened to her.
Yeah. Dave, how you feel about that? Him turning around and then Waller getting knocked out by her team.
I didn't like how they did Waller for this entire movie.
I agree.
They made her way too ruthless. I've read almost all the Suicide Squad books. Never has she had like a total disregard for mass loss of life, regardless of the mission. Like if Flag said that a bunch of people are gonna die instead of the mission getting completed, she authorized them to go ahead and take care of that too. She would never just be like, just turn around and let the thing destroy the city.
But
it's a bad tactical move.
Here's the thing, Dave. In a regular movie, what you just said would make sense. This was so over the top, it made sense. Like every character.
But Amanda Waller wasn't like that in the first movie.
No,
Amanda Waller is like a mirror opposite between the first movie and this movie.
So what I'm saying
because in the first movie, she was trying to contain a loss of life as well. All right, here Dave, she's like for loss of life.
Dave, what I say in the beginning, I said James Gunn got to take the gloves off. He didn't have Disney holding him back. So you let him take these characters or this storyline. This is what you get.
I know, but he asked me my opinion. I'm giving him my opinion of what I thought.
I know, I'm just saying. Yeah. I don't see why.
I didn't like how they did Amanda Waller, how they made her like so just disregard human life, especially the life of children. How she's threatening this person's kid. I can see if she threatened him with just regular jail. All right, that's somewhat bad, but I can see stopping it there. But she's like, "Oh, I murder kids." Like, no, like stop it. Like Amanda Waller never murdered a child in Suicide Squad history. No. So
how'd you like what happened to her? Her team turned on her then.
I also thought it was kind of cheesy as well. Like again, you're talking about a woman who blew off somebody's head because he wouldn't go and die on the beach. So of course she would find a way to kill every one of them. Because in the first movie, if you remember, after her team got done downloading, she killed her own team. Like she just pulled out a gun. Everything done? Yep, good. Bang, bang, bang.
Right.
So how she letting these people live? I'll never know. She's sitting there.
I mean, the same thing you said though, Gabe. So if she just killed her own team, why would she
just
not
sitting there
kill somebody's family?
With the standard ice pack. I'm surprised she didn't have like the hot water bottle with the little knob on it. Sitting there, holding it on her head, looking all defeated and sad, and then she just makes a single one-off deal with a bunch of villains. Oh yeah, by the way, you have someone who's completely insane with you, so I'm gonna make a deal with you and say, deal, nothing will happen. You can go free. Like you were just on TV. How are you gonna explain your freedom? You see what I'm saying? Right. Like it's just.
Well, okay. Well, they were in a fake country in the comics, but they were not in America. They were on Corto Maltese.
Yeah, but his daughter was watching TV. His daughter saw it. Yeah. So obviously they see Harley Quinn there. The world sees Harley Quinn there. They're gonna be like, wait a minute. Come
Right,
on.
okay, but let me get to that though. Actually, so now we're at the climax of the movie where they go after Starro, and they send Harley to go up top. My fault was on this part. I felt like there's a lot of times with Harley, like, does she have super soldier serum in her? Because I'm like, yo, how the hell she jump on top of this building, yo? I'm like, yo, she does a lot of shit.
Same way she took out like 90 guards in that place.
Yeah, Harley been doing a lot of shit since they made her like a movie character that like she don't doing like other stuff like that. I'm like, yo,
they stay consistent with her though.
They do. Yeah. So the way they actually kill Starro, I'll just break it down like that. Let's start with you, Ant. How you feel about that whole thing or whatever? So.
I might have dozed off. But I mean, you know what the cool thing is? Harley Quinn is the main, like, and when you think about it, she's the main character, right? Even though they don't put her in a spotlight, she kind of is, being that she has a tie to Batman, right, through the Joker. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I didn't really care, to be honest with you. She could have did whatever.
Yeah,
I agree. Right.
I did like that final gun they gave Bloodsport though, when you put all the pieces together. I thought it was pretty dope, actually. Or not. But right. Even though it didn't really work. But how do you guys feel, Dave, about the climax? How they kill Starro, how Harley with the javelin, Ratcatcher with all the rats, like the epic scene. How'd you feel about
it? First off, I didn't like that they killed Polka Dot Man. I thought they could have brought him back for another sequel if they're gonna do another sequel to this.
Yeah.
Polka Dot Man, he was just too good of a hero to throw away. I hate that Harley. Automatically, Harley is always the one to like turn the tide against the big villain. Like, remember in the first one, it was also her who knelt down in front of her and tricked Enchantress, and I hate that shit. Again, I don't know if I don't know, like you said, if she's like a super soldier. I was gonna say Ace Chemicals because her and Joker fell in that vat, and ever since then, she's been a trained soldier, from a trained doctor to a trained soldier, just by falling in one vat of chemicals. So apparently Ace Chemicals got a spray-on soldier maker. But regardless, I didn't like the fact that she was the one. I thought being the fact that Idris Elba carried this whole show, I thought he should have been the one to kill Starro, maybe even like climb inside of him and set off a bomb or something like that. Or turn his final
what's cool though?
The final thing would be to a big-ass bomb and blow him up. Like, that would have been doper.
You know what's cool? Is by them not doing what you just said. Because one of your issues in the beginning, you had a big issue with this movie because you felt like, what's his name? Will Smith's character was like the star, right? But we was alluding to it's a team, right? So it doesn't. So that's how you get over making it about one person.
Oh, Idris Elba's still the star of this movie. Don't get me confused.
Yeah,
he's still the star.
But everybody had enough shine. Everybody had enough shine for it to felt like it was a team and not
like, really like King Shark. What did King Shark do? He bit Starro and got thrown into a building. We didn't see him again. Like, that ain't Shine, bro. Like, Shine is like standing there up. He wanders up after the battle's over. Polka Dot Man didn't survive the battle. So really,
I felt like, well, first of all, really to me, I was really it was Ratcatcher who killed him. It was her rats.
Ratcatcher killed her, yeah. So,
and I felt like that whole scene was epic, even though I want to see rats or whatever. But I felt like that whole scene was epic.
To see that kind of power that she has, though, that's power.
And they flashed back to her with her dad at the same time while it was going on. I thought that was pretty cool. I did that as well. But I'm like, damn, how many fucking rats this country got? Like, that's crazy,
right?
Dirty ass country. Yeah, man.
Y'all ain't shit.
But that's right, for real. There's more rats. There's like 10 rats to every person.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There must be no garbage, no food garbage in that world.
For real.
As soon as you throw something out, the rats is like, yep.
But let me get your thoughts on that whole climax scene and stuff like that. What do you think about that, bro?
Man, I loved it. I loved the fact when she knew what the spear was. I know what the spear is for. She went through his eye. I thought that was pretty good, even though I felt that when he was dying and all that blood was floating in his eye when he was talking and he was at the tip over and he was dying, I didn't see where the blood was coming out the hole she pierced through.
Oh, because it was really like half drained at that point, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like, she stabbed him and it started to drain out to wherever she went in. So that's why it looked like it was only half full.
All right. Because I was wondering, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And what about the rat part, E? What do you feel about that?
One thing I liked about the rap part is how, like I said, Bloodsport again, the way he balled up in fear, and the girl had to put her hand on his back to keep him calm while the rats run over him. I thought that was dope as hell because it stuck with the story. It stuck with the story on what his dad did to him, what he thought of rats. Like I love that shit. The little details I like.
Yeah, I thought it was anticlimactic to me or whatever like that. But again, I don't know how they would beat that big villain. So that was maybe a problem of that or whatever. I just felt like the javelin with the rats. I guess it was cool visually, but I am with Ant or whatever like that on that. I would like a big epic more fight or shootout than just okay, she's gonna javelin him in the eye and then the rat's gonna take his nerves, stuff like that. So I mean, I guess that's how it should have ended, but I felt like it was anticlimactic. And even to Dave's point, like what did King Shark do? Take a couple bites out of the thing and then get thrown through a building? Like he was like useless at that point or whatever like that. Yeah. So I just felt like that was a problem. And again, Polka Dot Man, I was mad he died as well. So Dave, I agree with you on all fronts on the situation and whatnot. I did like the fact that Bloodsport right away used the tape or whatever it was as a deal to get them off or whatever. So I felt like that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you gotta tie up all the loose ends,
Right. Yeah. Tie up all the loose ends, stuff like that. I felt like that was cool. But let me move forward. We already kind of touched on it. Peacemaker, we find out, is still alive. He somehow survived a building falling on him and the shooting. So maybe he had super soldier. Who the hell knows or whatever like that. But either way, his show. Are you guys excited for that now? Seeing this movie? What are your thoughts about that, Dave? Whatnot?
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't say excited, but I am gonna watch it. But I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. It's Peacemaker. I want to see how he carries his own standalone. I could be shocked.
I think Bloodsport should have got a show, not Peacemaker. Me personally, or whatever. Like
right. They're actually talking about a show for Ratcatcher. Half of Twitter wants to.
I don't see that. I don't see that.
I wouldn't mind. I thought she was the best actress out of all of them. Like other than Idris, obviously, But
I was about to say, he killed faces. His comments.
I'll tell you what. Next Suicide Squad, I don't want to see Harley again.
I'm
kind of Harley'd out. Like
okay. I thought they're gonna use Margot Robbie because she's such a big star or whatever like that, and women love Harley. Like Anthony's wife, she loves Harley, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, she's had her time. She's had her time, but every movie they have her doing the same shit.
Okay. E, how you feel about the Peacemaker show coming up?
No, not feeling it. My man killed Flag. He got shot in the neck. He got disrespected already by Bloodsport.
Yeah, how are you gonna make him a hero?
He can't beat Bloodsport, so I don't need no show for him.
And I know your show will be called Bloodsport. And the show, how you gonna stop Peacemaker called Bloodsport?
So, all right, Ant. I know you're a big Cena fan, so it probably makes you excited by default. But besides, how you feel about the Peacemaker show?
So I just want to say thanks to my guy Ray, saying this is his new favorite Sunday show. Ray, you do know you do a show on Sundays. So is our show more a favorite show than the show you do that we're going to be on next? I will say this. What is it going to be on HBO?
HBO Max, yeah.
All right, so I don't have HBO Max, so I'm not watching it. That's your easy answer. I'm not getting it just for that show. Because I heard the movie was
two
trash.
Good shows.
So, what show am I missing on HBO?
Doom Patrol and Titans, both of them. Great shows.
I haven't watched them yet.
What's Doom Patrol?
Ooh, they're so good.
Doom Patrol is a comic book group too.
Yeah, the DC properties, yeah. And there's one episode where they actually cross paths. Like it's kind of dope, yo.
There is. I saw.
Yeah, I never heard of them.
Yep.
I didn't like the movie that much for me to look. I will watch it just for John Cena, but I only get HBO when I want to watch a certain show, and then I cancel it. But I wouldn't get it for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because, you know why? Let me just elaborate a little bit. Maybe if it was a show that came out, I was like, yo, Cena got a show. Like, I didn't watch The Rock show, right? Ballers, right? But he'd be like, oh, Cena got a show. I like Cena more than like The Rock. But if it was like, oh, Cena got a show, I'm like, oh, for real? Like, and people say it's really good, cool. But if it's gonna be based off of what I just seen, hell no.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, it is directed and written by James Gunn about Peacemaker, so it'll probably be the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder if they gave him the same kind of budget, like the budget for the Marvel shows.
No,
right?
Nah.
I don't know. It's on HBO though. HBO go in.
HBO go in too, though. Yeah.
They go in, but
that's why I'm asking. But again, it is DC. DC would also have a say in that, and
Marvel got us spoiled. They're not gonna give us no movie budget shows.
And I'm gonna go back to that, Dave. Actually, you know what? I want to circle around to that, Dave, because I know you have a big problem with DC for some reason or whatever like that. So I think DC has up and downs. I think The Dark Knight is still like the best comic book film ever to me, number one. But the first Dark Knight, not Dark Knight Rises or whatever like that. But even the most recent stuff, like I feel like Aquaman was good. I feel like the first Wonder Woman was good as well, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I also feel like the most recent Justice League, like the 4-hour one, I thought that was way better than the original one or whatever like that. So DC does have bad. One more thing. And Man of Steel is underrated. Man of Steel is actually not that bad, actually.
Nah, it was good.
All right, I'm gonna give you my rating. I'm gonna give you my ratings right now for the DCU. Ready? And y'all gonna be surprised by some of this. I don't care. The movies I liked: Aquaman, Shazam, the first Suicide Squad, as you know. I like the 4-hour Justice League, but it wasn't better than this. All right, but it was okay. I didn't like the first Justice League. I didn't like Dawn of Justice.
What about the first Wonder Woman?
The first Wonder Woman was a hit. Yes, the second Wonder Woman was a bomb.
Oh, horrible trash. Dude.
And then The Losers. He mentioned The Losers earlier. The Losers is a DC property.
It is. Yeah.
The Losers is an awesome movie. I'm sorry. I know it's not part of their uniform.
Awesome movie.
But
yeah.
And then what are the DC?
By the way, real quick, the Losers.
Man of Steel sucked, yo, bro. Man of Steel was.
No, it didn't. Man of Steel.
I went to the movies to see that. I went to the movies to see that too, and I'm like, yo, they did Superman dirty.
Man of Steel was better than Wonder Woman for me.
Nah, it wasn't for me, yo. It wasn't for me.
So hold on, Dave. Hold on.
You know why? You know what killed it? You know what killed it? The fight scene at the end. The fight scenes
that was
at
great.
the end.
That was good.
Sorry.
I don't want to just see blurs, just people appearing and reappearing across the screen and call that a fight. That's what it was.
Superman.
Bro.
What you want to see? Them slow.
I want to see punches. Show Superman punching somebody, not just running into somebody and using kinetic force.
What? Let me hear what E got to say.
Sorry.
Right. I love the Man of Steel, and that him killing Zod, the way he had to kill Zod from burning the people eyes. I thought that was great. I love the blurs because you're actually seeing, like when they usually show Superman, they show
seeing nothing but blurs. That's the problem. Like if you just slowed it down, I would have been a fan. I would have been like, word.
So you rather watch it where they got a person punching in slow motion and you see it that way.
Not slow motion, real speed. Show me real speed, but show me devastating effects. Like show me Superman punch somebody and have him fly through a wall and then get up and slug it out and him punch Superman and he fly through a wall. I can live with that. The whole thing was blur. They were just throwing each other through buildings.
All right,
the level of destruction.
I didn't want to get the whole Man of Steel conversation, but hold on. Hold on, back up.
Yeah. I wanted Mike to say something about the Losers. He was about to say something about the Losers.
The Losers just went on Netflix last week. It's already it's in the Netflix number 4 trending right now. That's how good a movie it is, or whatever. And it's 10 years old,
movie,
but it's on Netflix right now, or whatever. It's number 4.
10 years is older than 10 years, right?
It came out 2010, 11 years. Yeah, 11 years old. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was my. That's
I got all 5 of the graphic novels also, yo.
Yeah,
they made them. Yo, there was supposed to be a second part, we're missing, yo. Just to let y'all know.
Because Chris, became too big when he started doing Captain America. They couldn't put it back in the movie or whatever. Chris Evans, yeah. But nevertheless, I mean, this is good. I mean, it's not better than the ones I named. Not better than Wonder Woman 1, Man of Steel, Aquaman, Dark Knight, a whole other category.
Whatever. You don't think this movie's better than the first Wonder Woman?
Hell no.
Yes.
No. And I like this movie. I don't think it's that bad. But Wonder Woman 1 is great, like it's really great.
It's not like an all-time great movie.
Listen, let me say something real quick. Dave, if I rewind this back, you probably complained about 10 different things for this movie. If you hear yourself, I'm listening.
Little things, they're Dave things. He was like, I bitch about little stuff.
Oh no, I'm like, I bet Wonder Woman 1, you wasn't sounding like that for like 10 different things. You probably was like, bro.
No, Wonder Woman 1, I gave it its prop. Wonder Woman 1, I left the theater giving it its props. Like, yo, I thought this was gonna suck. Because usually Mike will tell you, I'll go see a movie just so I can tell you how bad it is. Like, okay. I don't even. I'll watch the movie and I'll be like, I'm gonna shit on this movie tomorrow at work. Oh boy, I can't wait. Wonder Woman surprised me. I came out of there like, wow, yo. Now I didn't see Shazam in the movies. I saw that like later on one of the streaming sites, and I'm like, yo, this movie is awesome. Like,
Shazam was good.
a goofy little family movie. It was for what it was. You know, it was like the Space Jam of DC movies. You know, it's more for the kids. I don't know what happened with the second Wonder Woman, but the first Man of Steel sucked.
Right.
And then
dude.
And then Dawn of Justice. I just don't like Henry Cavill as Superman.
Oh, what?
I just
He's
don't
the best
like
Superman.
Henry Cavill as Superman.
Man.
I just don't like him as Superman. Yo. I don't have an actor in mind to replace him with. Because I haven't seen many people play Superman. But right now he owns the role. So what are you gonna do? But to me, he's a little. I don't know. He's a little stilted.
He's perfect for Superman. I think.
Nah, he's not. No, he's not.
Did you like the Brandon, whatever his last name was, Superman better? Did you like him better?
No, he was worse.
That
was worse, bro. That was the DC when DC was really making bad movies back then.
What you like? Smallville Superman? You like that?
No, I didn't like any. Dude, since Christopher Reeve's Superman was okay.
Oh my god, Dean King.
And then they haven't had a good Superman since.
Nah. Listen, Henry Cavill
has been the best Superman since, but he's not a good Superman.
Henry Cavill is Superman, like Tony Stark, like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Like he's Superman to me. Honestly.
Or what about Hugh Jackman as Wolverine?
Yeah, same thing. Yep.
Hugh Jackman, he iconized that role, yo. I don't know that they could ever find somebody else.
I don't want to take this left field. I just want to answer. I personally like Edward Norton better as David Banner. Let me ask you that.
Yeah, Edward Norton's a better actor. Of course.
I like Mark Ruffalo, but I like Mark Ruffalo better.
I don't. Honestly, I agree. I agree with
Mark Ruffalo as a better person. Like as a person overall, I like Mark Ruffalo, especially what he do behind the scenes. But as far as
in terms of the Hulk role,
Edward
Norton. Yeah, definitely, bro.
Man,
I like this in Fight Club. I love Edward Norton. Honestly,
Edward Norton, man.
Yeah.
I got tremendous amount of respect for the actor himself, but in terms of the role, nah, man, that's Mark Ruffalo's role. Nah,
hell no. I don't think. You know why? I don't think Ruffalo's a good Banner. I think he's just like subpar. They average at best.
That's his He doesn't play the Hulk. He plays Banner. That's what I like him as. I love him as Banner.
Nah.
But you know what though? I will say this though. I feel like that Hulk movie is my favorite comic book movie, right? Because I'm a Hulk fan, and I feel like they did a great job. They had the Hulk. They had him fight a really strong villain. He overcame the villain. Blah blah blah. Right now, but that movie isn't. It doesn't feel like the Marvel movies we have now, where it's a lot of jokes. That was more grounded, like serious. So I don't know if Edward Norton would be able to be like Mark Ruffalo, where he could be silly. Edward Norton, for me, I feel like is he's more of a more serious tone actor. So.
Bro, that would make it better because his serious tone with the people that surround him. Like, imagine Edward Norton dealing with Thor.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like no, cool. Just leave me alone. Like I don't want to. Yep. And then Thor just pushing on and bothering him. Man,
no, I agree. What I didn't like was Eric Bana as the Hawk. That was the worst shit ever, in my opinion.
Yes, man.
That was. First of all, Eric Banner's all in shape. I'm like, damn, the Hulk might just beat the hell out of you. Eric Banner, he don't even need it. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He's supposed to be the skinny, nerdy dude. I was like, hold up.
Eric Banner's like 6'3", like 240. I'm like,
I'm like, hold up. He might put the bands to you. Boy, you better watch who you talking to. That's David.
Yo, that Hulk was that Ang Lee Hulk was horrible, yo.
Horrible, bro.
Super old.
Like I was ashamed to be a Marvel fan when that shit came out. I was like, damn. Even even for this Hulk, right? Mm-hmm. There's a reason why it's borderline considered for the MCU. Like, not a lot of people talk about any events that happened in that movie for a reason. Because
you mean the last Suicide Squad?
Like that? No, the first Hulk, that Hulk movie where Edward Norton. It wasn't.
That was good, bro. It's so good. They're bringing the Abomination back for Shang-Chi next week.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Here, let me show you what Shang-Chi can do. Fodder. That's all.
He's gonna be in She-Hulk series too. Abomination or whatever on Disney Plus or whatever. Yeah, they're bringing them out. They're bringing them back or whatever. And your boy's still around. From that Hulk movie. What's his name? Ross. Ross been around since the Hulk movie or whatever. He's still around.
What's Ross doing? Ross is getting tricked by Black Widow. Ross is a Keystone cop. Wow, he's a Keystone cop. All right, he has to get called to places to show up. He can't find the giant satellite floating in the sky. He's got to be told.
What you gonna say?
Like, come on.
Hold on, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't like Ross because Ross said that ignorant shit. The War Machine. I ain't like that shit.
What did he say? I don't remember.
About him losing his legs like that when he cracked.
Yeah.
I ain't like that. I felt, Rhodey should have said some more slicker shit like Black Widow did.
Well, I will say this. I see Ray said he got to get ready for the show. Mike, we got to be on the show in like 15 minutes. I want to get something to eat before the show, and we pretty much got to the end to where we just talking about other shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now, but real quick, I do got to give our rating. What are you gonna give it? Go ahead. What?
So when we walked out the theater, if you guys seen it, I gave it a 4, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. You said a 3. You said a 3 at the end.
No. His wife said a 3. It wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you got, Dave?
Tough critic. Me, 8.5. Yeah. Solid 8.5. Yeah.
All right. E money.
Oh, I'm gonna give it for real. I'm with Dave on that at 8, 9 around there. This for real.
A 9.
Favorite DC film.
Mine could have been a
9. Wait. Hold on. I gotta stop it for a quick. This your favorite DC film? E?
Second one.
Behind what?
This is number 2.
Behind what?
Justice League.
The new one, Justice League.
Yeah, the new one, the Zack Snyder.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with. I left the theater saying 6.5. I watched it again on Saturday. I'm gonna go up to a 7.5. It actually was a good movie. Not the greatest. Not greater than about 5 other DC movies to me, but I still think it was a good watch. It wasn't bad or whatever to me at all. It wasn't, and way better to me than the first Suicide Squad or whatever. So I didn't really enjoy that much like that. So anyway, man, that's our ratings, man. This is our usual crew for these ratings and TV shows and movies, stuff like that. The next thing up is Marvel's What If. I don't know if you know or not, Ant, but that starts on this Tuesday night or Wednesday or whatever.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know it was starting this soon.
This Wednesday is right back at it. So we're going to be on here maybe every couple of weeks talking about the What If episodes. We'll talk about the Shang-Chi when that comes out and just more and more content for you guys.
Question for you, Mike. How many episodes is supposed to be? What If?
I think What If is 9 episodes.
Yep, 9 or 10.
So maybe we could do what we did with Loki. Like every couple episodes we'll save it, for a couple episodes.
Yeah. Talk about 2 at a time. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's do it like that, or maybe we'll figure it out. Yeah, something like that is fine. Whatever. And of course, Dave and E is always invited back to join us, man.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate this, man. I love this panel right here. I love how it came together. I'm loving it so far. So so man, we appreciate you guys. Please be able to tune in, watch, go to the channel, and for that, any last thoughts, words, you guys, Dave, E, before I let you guys go.
Oh, I have fun.
That's it, man.
Love this.
All right, man. Well, for that, I'm Big Mike.
I'm Little Ant. Out.